What's in the basket?
Yes.
What is it? What's in the basket? It's Bad Movies Rule, the worst movie podcast ever recorded. And today we've got the Reverend Charles Hewitt in the house.
I think we might need an exorcism after this movie.
We're going to need a doctor because we're running out of them.
Right.
And so we got Dr. Madeline in the house today. Look out, Ryan. And the mayor is also in session. Let's get it, guys. Basket Case is on the block.
Mayors were apparently safe.
Yeah. I'd never heard or seen this movie till 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Nice.
Well, I guess I had heard of it before because I knew it was on the schedule.
Yeah, politicians seem to be safe. It's
there's
doctors that were dropping like
One of
flies.
the few, man, don't be a doctor in this movie.
Confusing as to whether they were all doctors or veterinary doctors.
One vet, two doctors is
Okay.
the way that I took that.
All right.
Yep.
But, we'll see as we get through this. So this is from 1982 Basket Case. Yes.
Oh, 1982.
Big screen.
Oh, no, we're good because this is rolling.
Okay.
Yeah.
It feels weird not to have it on, though.
It does.
Do you want to have it on?
No, it's fine.
It's like my safety
security blanket. It's all right. We're good.
The TV's off and we're scared.
You said 1982?
This is 1982. This is called Basket Case. Was a special request. So this is a unique movie that was not on our list at all. We had a Patreon member that was of the highest. We have multiple different levels that people can support the show at. At the highest level, once a year, you can pick a movie. No one gets to vote on it. It just happens. And this is the first time ever our patron, Mr. Bill Sconce, picked Basket Case 1982. And we are here. So thanks, Bill.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Should we be concerned about that?
Thank
I
you,
don't know.
Bill.
Bill's out on the West Coast. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
okay,
So
that
that
makes
he gets a little too much sunlight, maybe. I don't know.
I almost posted into the Discord, which of you bastards voted for this?
This didn't have Billy Joe Armstrong in it, did it?
No, that's a different
I might have
Basket Case.
watched the wrong thing.
Oh,
Different one.
It would have been probably better if you had.
We're not a movie podcast that does a lot of horror movies. We've done a couple, usually around Halloween. If Ernest Scared Stupid counts as a horror movie, Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
one
That's
does.
about
Well,
it.
I think Clint would say Ernest does.
100% would for sure.
He would say Ernest Saves Christmas is one.
And so for those of you who are new to the show, what we do is we go through the whole movie scene by scene. We'll walk you through it. Even if you've never seen Basket Case, you can live through us vicariously here as we'll take you through what happens every step of the way. At the end, we ultimately will decide if it's really a bad movie, if it's a good movie, or a bad movie that rules. And so we're just appreciative that you're here and listening, and hope you're excited to dive in. Let's go straight to the vitals.
Do it.
Did Bill get to do awards?
No, he didn't get to do
Okay.
awards, but he has the benefit of dropping this in our laps and just kind of walking away like in an action movie when you walk away from an
Yeah.
explosion
Yes.
Yeah.
without turning
Yes.
around.
That's right.
That's the way I
And
imagine
I'm
it.
sure he did.
It's more like walking away from a pile of shit.
The movie was directed by Frank Henenlotter. I think the names of some of these people are crazy in this movie. And it was also written by Frank. So Frank wrote and directed the film. Now, he admitted after the fact that he just tried to think of the craziest idea for a movie that he possibly could that would be totally ridiculous.
Okay.
Was horrified, apparently, when it actually became successful. And spawned a couple of sequels, Basket Case
Yes.
2 and 3.
He
So,
also
Mission
made
accomplished.
Frankenhooker.
Frankenhooker.
Yes.
The second on his list, the most ridiculous titles he could make.
And there were a few people in this one that were in Frankenhooker as well.
Yeah.
That's how he was inspired by that
Nice.
as well.
And,
Yeah.
and a number of people that this was their only movie.
Yeah, this movie did not launch a lot of careers.
No, it launched one career though. So there was a gal, and we usually do, we don't go through the whole cat. I'm gonna start over. Sorry. Yeah, and it did launch one career. Beverly Bonner, who plays Casey in the movie, has launched this specific role. She even did a play 30 years later about this character, like a stage play, and so she's really rode the Basket Case train for as much as she could get.
And that makes me happy.
Yeah, for
And we'll
sure.
find out later why.
Yeah. So the movie starred Kevin Von Hentenrich. What a name.
Yeah, it's quite a name. I think if you changed the name, he might have had a better career.
Maybe.
Paid to Bacon? Yeah, he definitely would have had a better.
Yeah.
Or like Joe.
This guy didn't get the note about a stage name. I mean, how can you market Kevin Van Henterich?
Seriously.
Right.
Terry Smith
He needed
played
a better
Sharon.
agent.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So are you saying this wasn't some college kid who was a... all right, let me try that again. Wait, so are you saying that this wasn't some college kid who was studying graphic or effects?
No, you would
and,
think.
And he grabbed a bunch of his friends from engineering and was like, we're going to make a movie. You hold the camera, you hold the sound, and then you guys get to act.
You dangle the thing with the stick in a string off
Yeah.
camera, right? Like,
you
no,
wear
this
the
is a
rubber
legitimate
gloves.
film
Yeah.
with a budget and everything. It was not a student film.
Who backed this?
I don't know. I think some of it was raised as they went. So they had
Yes,
donors.
I read about that.
Right?
Yeah.
That they would show them, hey, here's what we made so far. They give them a little more money, and they kind of just
Oh,
kept
wow.
doing that until the movie was finished. A total budget of $35,000.
Wow.
It's not a lot of money.
This
No,
guy could have gone on
Not
and
even
done,
in 1982 or whenever it was.
he could have gone on and done Canon films with that kind of
That's what I'm
process.
saying. He stretched that a long way.
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
come on. I give the guy some credit as far as that goes.
I was, really impressed by that.
$35,000, which apparently was the wad of cash that he pulled out
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
hotel.
That was great.
Could have been.
They're like, this is the film's budget, and he's carrying it around.
The budget became a prop.
Yeah, and did you
Yeah.
know what's funny is only in independent films like this where you see real U.S. currency on screen. You're not supposed to. It's supposed to be.
Really?
Yeah, you're not technically not allowed, and that's why major studios substitute lookalikes. Like it looks like,
I'll make sure not
American
to take my wad of
currency.
cash out on here then.
but yeah.
Yeah, keep in your pocket.
Movie currently sits at now. Again, I don't blame me for this. 6.2 on IMDb.
When I was looking up some stuff, I'm like, wow, this is highly rated.
I actually
And-
did some research.
That's really high.
And 77 on Rotten Tomatoes.
77%.
Yes.
What's wrong with people?
This is practically a good movie that doesn't qualify for our show.
That might be one of the highest Rotten Tomato ratings of any movie we've ever done.
Yeah.
Now, audience 54.
Which is the
But
only
that's
way.
still-
So that checks a box by 6%.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
54
amazing.
a rotten audience score, but even that's just barely. So it would qualify traditionally.
Right.
But man, oh
So
man.
does this fall in rubber territory where this is you've got your bearded, bunned bros with their lattes around the coffee shop table
Yeah.
discussing this thing?
And like what this is Belial is the id, right? He's the super ego. And he
Right.
just wants, I mean, that's literally, they're stroking their beards
Yeah.
and they sit around and they
Yeah.
I
talk
have a
about
beard
it.
anymore to stroke. I should have kept
I know.
it through this movie.
You look like a baby face now,
my
man.
baby face, Charles.
Well, I guess that's an
I'm too young to watch this movie, that's for sure.
That is an interesting question, though, is like, what? There was something in the beginning where it was like, oh, some museum
Yeah.
Yeah.
preserved this. It's like, who the hell wants to preserve this?
No, you're supposed to light it on fire in a
Yeah.
garbage can and walk away.
This should be in Kurt's backyard next to boyfriend school.
I'm scared to know what other movies they're preserving. Like,
Yeah.
should we look
Rubber.
and be like, we gotta
Should we
review
look?
those?
Like we
Yeah.
send a team of guys over there and see what's going on?
peek in the
Yeah,
corner,
hey.
like, ah.
CM Army, research that
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
What
That's
other
right. Please.
crap movies are they holding on to?
I didn't write down the name of the museum, so then you're going to have to watch Basket Case. I'm sorry. Write down the name of it and get some people over there
Well,
immediately.
Like the
I
first
did-
First
5
30
minutes.
seconds, yeah.
it's
I
not-
did read they made up all the cast names because then it was like 5 people in the whole thing. So
Okay.
is that might be fake.
Oh, but it was also online. I read it on the.
Okay,
on the-
so it's
Yeah.
if it's online, it's got to be real.
It's
It's
gotta
true.
be.
The
It's
internet's
on the
always,
internet.
Always
So-
The
true.
internet is undefeated for sure. So, all right, guys, look, if you want to contact the show, and hey, if you want to be a Patreon and be able to pick your own movie like Bill did, you can join us at patreon.com/badmoviesrule. And you can, I mean, that's like the highest level tier, right? But there's all kinds of tiers under that, and it goes down as little as $3 a month to get access to all the bonus episodes. Good Movies Rule, which is a monthly show coming up in the fall, the Cartoon Clubhouse, that's going to be a free monthly show on there as well. And then every show afterwards, we sit and we do kind of a wind down session we record after the episode. That's all available through patreon.com/badmoviesrule. And so feel free to jump on there, join us. We are a listener supported show, and so we are able to do this ad free, and we want to keep this show free. And so if you'd like the show and you've been enjoying it and you want to be a supporter, we'd love that. Patreon.com/badmoviesrule. You can always just email the show if you've got suggestions, questions, stories, things to relate to what we've talked about here, or even corrections for all the times we screw up. This show is trash@gmail.com. This show is trash@gmail.com is our email address. So thank you guys for listening today. You ready to jump in?
Let's do it.
Do it.
Let's open that basket.
Ooh, what's in the basket?
What's in the
Take
basket?
the lock off and open it up.
The most repeated line in the movie. What's in the basket?
Yeah, it's at a variety of different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The movie starts with Dr. Lifflander,
Lifflander.
and Dr. Lifflander never had a chance.
No. No.
Nope. He should have gone to some gun training as well.
Yeah. He should have just kept going out to his car and got out of there. Is what he should have done.
So I couldn't remember because by the time the movie was over, I was thinking back. Was he coming out of his house or going into his house?
He's coming out.
Coming out.
And then goes back
and
in.
he's turning around.
Saw
so he went
something
back in.
moving in the trees.
So he saw something outside, it freaked him out, some noises. He's like, oh, who's out there? And he goes back into his house. Classic tropey horror movie stuff. Instead of getting in your car and leaving, you go back into the house.
Yeah, it's like that one commercial where there's a running car. I think we should hide behind the row of chainsaws.
That's pretty much what it was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He goes inside. He calls 911. This is the best. He's like, hello, police. And they're like, yes, we're here and ready to send someone to help you.
Yeah.
And he hears a noise. So he just stops talking to the police
Yeah.
long enough.
I'll get back to you later.
Hold on for 30 seconds. There was a noise.
There was a noise. Yeah.
Then the phone line gets disconnected.
Yeah.
Now he's in trouble.
Now he's in real
Now
trouble.
he locks his doors and his windows that are very large, easy to break.
Well, don't forget his monster-proof window shade that he pulled
Yeah.
down.
Pulled that down.
He only pulled one shade down, though, I noticed. He didn't pull others down.
No, but
Maybe on the-
he's not getting through that
Shades on
window.
Well, that window's closed.
That one's locked down.
It's a decoy window.
I don't know
Right.
what's behind that one. I better not go in that one with the window shade
It's
down.
like when you were a kid and you thought, as long as I'm under the covers, monster can't get me.
Right, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I got
So-
this window shade down. I'm good.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
Nothing's going to get me in here.
Checkmate.
I'll avoid the window shade window since there's 10 other windows that are wide open.
The monster walks up to that window. He's like, crap, what am I supposed to do now?
Not getting in this house.
And jiggles the other one. Oh, that one's locked too.
So the monster is now inside. You're right. And so he's like, I've got a gun. And if you don't leave, I'm going to shoot you.
Yes.
And then he starts to shoot the shadow on the
He
wall.
shoots- yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
He just empties his
Into a shadow.
Yeah, channeled his inner stormtrooper.
all 6 shells right into the wall of his house.
Yep.
And if that's the way they shot it anyway, to me, it literally the way they cut it makes it look like he's shooting the shadow. And to his surprise, the shadow is impervious to bullets.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
What? I didn't know that. I thought I could shoot shadows.
So he sits down, and I'm not kidding. You guys saw the movie. He just sits down and goes, "Guess I'll die."
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Pretty much it.
So, well, it's in here. I locked
in
all my
trouble.
doors and windows.
Yeah.
I'm not getting
and
out.
I used all my bullets.
Time to die.
Time to
He's
die.
just like that old man that looks at you from the meme and just smiles.
With the guy with the coffee cup.
Yeah.
He's just like, all right, I'm going to die today.
He got past the shade. The bullets didn't work on his shadow. I guess I'll die. He sat
I
down.
tried
and
nothing.
All you said, tried nothing. All you see is like a hand reach up,
sort of a hand. I think.
kind of. It's missing a ring
Missing
finger.
Very fast.
I was confused because I think the first hand had most of his fingers, and
Yeah.
the second shot it wasn't. And I'm like, did he bite?
I think
Yeah, I was
Lifflander
wondering.
bit one of his digits off or
Yeah,
something. And those are
could've
some
been.
thick fingers, boy.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were.
You know, he pulls his face down out of frame, pulls
them
it back in
bratwursts.
frame.
Yeah. And you could tell
Yeah.
that the actor's fingers and it didn't fill it out either.
Yeah. And that they didn't actually move. I was like, he's just like palming the guy's face,
right.
but somehow he's getting ripped up.
He like
Yeah.
No,
Jordan
right.
him out like basketball, like Jordan on a basketball
Yeah, that's
palming
right.
it, going for a dunk.
I think he's got shark skin, so it was just
That one must have been something because his fingers never moved. He didn't have opposable fingers.
He just bowling balled
Yeah.
him. That's
Right,
what,
yeah, there you
what it was.
He
Finger
did
in
have
the
some
mouth.
gnarly fingernails.
Two in the eyes, one in the mouth, rolled his head down the hallway.
Now, to your comment on
Yes.
his nasty fingernails, I don't think he was going to the salon to get his fingernails done.
No, we find out it's
wasn't-
quite a
yeah.
tragic story.
Yeah.
It wasn't Manny Day.
Yeah, no.
For sure.
No.
And
Kill
the next day.
Dr. Lifflander Day.
yeah, and this is a running theme that starts here in this first scene, which I've asked myself throughout this movie was, how did he kill him? Right? Like
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
just-
Yep.
lots of people die, not always clear how, in fact, they were killed.
Very bloody, but there's no reason why they're bleeding.
Yeah, and my first thought was, why'd the hand come from so low? Now that
Which we
does
don't
get
know. That
answered
does
later,
get
but at
answered
the beginning,
later.
I'm like, that's kind of weird that it's coming up below him like
Yeah,
that. 'cause
well,
he was
and-
sitting, and all of a
right.
sudden the hand comes up.
Maybe this is a movie about an evil leprechaun.
How did he not see him? Was my thought.
All right, he thought he was a shadow.
Yeah.
All right, so it cuts to 1982, dirty, seedy New York, the way it used to be back in the 80s.
Really dirty. Like they literally walk down the street in New York.
Right,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
They were
Yeah.
stealing shots in Times Square and later at the Statue of Liberty without permits. They were just like figuring, we'll get these shots before they tell us to go away.
This is the first of one of the great lists in the movie.
Yeah, he does. He runs into like the Bubba
pharmacy-
Shrimp, the Bubba Gump shrimp
Yeah.
version of street drugs.
That guy was literally carrying all the pharmacy of every illegal drug you could possibly have,
Seriously.
and hookers at the end.
I'm pretty sure that guy was just walking down the street and
Seriously.
was actually a drug
I
dealer.
got-
Yeah. It was
got-
unbelievable. Everything you could think of, he's got.
I got shrimp cocaine. I got shrimp heroin. I got shrimp weed.
He'd start making up stuff. I got zips, Bebos, right?
Flops.
All that's
Beach bongs.
I was like, dang, he's only got jeans on. Is it all stuffed into his pockets or what?
I don't know, but then he offered him girls. He got everything. He's a full stop place right there.
One-stop shop.
He's got
in-
everything, every vice you'd want in New York City. That one guy's got.
They're very small girls.
That's true. So he finds this hotel, and I can't remember the name of the hotel, even though they showed the sign
Brooklyn. Hotel
400
Brooklyn.
times.
Hotel
The
Brooklyn.
same shot, I think.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because it was like the only actual set they made.
That was it?
They were very proud of that.
Just that sign?
That sign. And
We
that's
made the
prop.
sign. We got to
Yep.
show it.
There's
You gotta
25 of our $35,000,
That's it right
right?
there.
for that neon sign.
Here's the rest. Walk into the hotel and get a
Hotel
room.
Brooklyn.
They walk into this what looks like the seediest, like one of those just crummy, seedy
Yeah.
hotels. I mean, it's in the red light district where they got all the
Do places
porn
like
shops
that
and
actually
stuff.
exist?
They did before.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know
this
now.
was
I'm
like
sure they were.
literally it was. I read one of the reviews on IMDb, and it said, "Yeah, this is like what New York was back in the day." They were took me right back to
My
Times
hooker
Square,
days.
New York, back in the
My
1980s.
pimp days.
Oh, I
Been a
remember.
pimp that wrote it. I don't know.
I remember that guy slinging chicks on that street.
Yeah, I remember all them drugs. He had some great uppers.
Oh, look, it's Charlie.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
I wonder what
man.
he's up to.
Yeah, where is he? I wonder.
Dwayne pulls into this seedy motel this poor guy didn't even get a character name. The hotel manager.
Yeah.
Is
Hotel
his
manager.
name.
Yeah,
That's
his
him.
name.
Yep.
Okay, and he was awesome. I don't know what
He
you
was
guys thought
great.
Yeah.
about
Oh no.
Yeah.
Who is?
He was good.
I just love how he's like, it's the dirtiest motel or hotel, and he's like, I run a clean hotel.
That's right. And no crackheads in here.
And he looks like he runs not only that hotel, but the greasy spoon. He's got the greasy T-shirt
yeah,
on, and
yeah.
Yes. He pulls out this wad to pay. It's Worm's $20 a night, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
$20 a night.
Pulls out this
In
wad,
advance.
and there's like old Deadeye Donovan. Like, I don't know if that dude like Uncanny Valley, even though he was a human person.
He looked
He was
like
creepy.
Right?
He was creepy.
He looked like a Walmart Great Value version of Peter Sellers.
That's a good. That's a good
There you
one.
go.
But he never really.
No, he
his
never looked
eyes
at
never
anybody.
looked at anybody.
kinda
It was
weird,
just
though.
he just had these dead eyes.
Yeah.
He
Like a
spots
shark.
Yes.
Yeah.
He spots the wad of cash, which you never pull out a wad like that, and
Well, Dwayne didn't know. He's from upstate New York.
he's a
Little
yokel.
town.
I'm from upstate.
Little town.
Right. Glen Falls.
Glen Falls.
And so-
Real town. Apparently, I think a producer's town.
Donovan is like horny for this money for the rest of the movie. Okay, because it's all he talks about for the rest of
right.
the film.
That's right.
He goes upstairs. He gets the
Room number 7.
room number 7 now. But as he turns the corner to go up the stairs, hi, I'm Josephine.
Josephine.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That was
the
the
speech.
scariest part of the whole movie.
Quite the speech about the old lady that used
Yeah.
to live there, said she was rich and people were coming after money. She showed up one time with all her rings and pearls on and walked out and never saw her again. Pretty much how it went.
Okay, but go ahead.
Okay, she ends her line, and she immediately does a 180 and runs
walks
down the
down the
stairs as quickly as
stairs.
possible.
Yeah.
Books.
In a way that was almost so unnatural, it seemed creepy.
I finished my line.
First of all, she's like, as the camera clears the corner to go up the stairs, she's just standing there, like staring across the, like
Yeah.
a animatronic to say, like, "Hi, I am Josephine."
Yeah.
Right. And then it was like the nun from The Conjuring, like, showed up.
Yeah.
And then followed him up the stairs. The second her line was over, in an unnatural way, turns around back
Yes.
down the steps.
Yeah.
And they lingered on the shot of her going away for a long time.
It was creepy.
Well, they told me to get off set as soon as I could. I just
Right? They're like, we're paying by the minute, so get out of here.
It was weird. He goes across the street and gets some burgers to dump into his basket, which he's carrying, we should say, this what looks like a wicker
basket.
laundry basket,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Around, it's got a padlock on it, and we don't know what's in it.
Yeah, the manager even asked,
Yes,
what's in it?
And he said,
Yeah.
like clothes or something. I think.
it's
Laundry.
That's
That's
laundry.
And everybody
Yeah.
he meets pretty much goes, "What's in the basket?"
Right.
It's like one of them old school picnic baskets.
Yeah.
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 Which I think Casey calls it a picnic basket at one
it
point.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not very big either. It's maybe like
It looks like a
foot and
laundry
half.
basket size.
Yeah.
It's like a laundry
Like
basket
a foot and a
size.
half by like
Yeah.
8 inches.
Maybe a little bigger.
Yeah.
If it had a lid on it. Yeah.
And the arm in the first scene with the monster that you see is bigger than a normal human arm. So I'm like, I don't think the arm even fits in this basket.
Let alone this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He's got a basket.
the first real thing that happens in the movie is he goes to Dr. Needleman's office. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't know yet that these doctors are connected. So Dr. Lifflander was the first doctor that got
Well,
killed.
this is important.
Yeah.
When Liftlander gets killed, there's a manila folder of lots of information.
That becomes a
Right.
blood-soaked
It's got
manila
blood.
folder.
Yeah, it's got blood on it. So when he gets to the hotel room, Dwayne takes that folder out and starts looking through, and we find out there's 2 doctors in New York that he's looking for.
Thank you.
Right.
Right. He's
Yes.
following a trail.
Needleman.
He got the info from Liftlander.
Oh, he looked. Oh, I remember this because I wrote.
Yeah.
Oh, a phone book. I haven't seen one of those in years.
Yes,
Yeah.
children. So a phone book
Yes.
used to be this big, thick book, and it was yellow, and it would have literally, if people just wanted to find you, your information was in
It
there.
was in your phone
Yep.
number and your address.
Yep.
Unless you unsubscribe.
So one of the doctors wasn't in the phone book, but one of them was. So he
Right.
finds Needleman's address.
So he goes to Dr. Needleman's office, and there is a very nice receptionist in a wig.
Yes.
sitting-
Yes. You know why she was in the wig?
Why?
She was in a punk band and she was actually shaved. Yeah.
Oh.
Really?
So I read she
Yeah.
was bald. I didn't know why, though.
Yeah, she was in a
didn't say
punk
what-
band.
That's why.
Wouldn't
Well,
mind.
she did this like before and I think after. Yeah, she's in a punk band, so
Interesting.
shaved bald.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because it was so obviously a wig. I'm like, you
Yeah,
you
it
could have
was.
hit it better if you didn't pull the front of it down to her eyebrows.
Right.
Like, it was
I
way
know
too
nothing
forward.
about that, and I knew that was a wig.
Yeah.
Like, that's a wig, and then I
No,
read
my
on
wife was
IMDb
like-
it was.
Yeah, my wife was so mad that she had a wig on. She's like, "Why is she wearing a wig?"
That's why. She was like actually bald. They pulled her out of her punk band to
Should
do
be
the
here
movie.
in a punk band.
Just let her be bald in the movie.
Yeah.
It's a weird movie
weird
already.
movie.
Yeah,
Right. That
that's
would
true.
almost
We
made
also
it better.
we did skip over the fact that Dwayne apparently is hearing whatever's in the basket talk to him, but we don't.
Right.
No, so at first I thought he just was crazy.
That's what I wrote
Yeah.
too. I said I think
I
Dwayne's
thought they-
crazy hearing voices.
Because the first night he's walking, whatever it is in the basket, we don't know yet what it is walking around. He's like, "Are you gonna be pacing the floor all night?"
Yeah.
Stop
He ate,
talking to
ate
him.
a bunch of burgers and he wouldn't talk to him. Yeah.
I thought they forgot to add the response. I was not giving them enough credit.
They needed $40,000
Yeah.
to do the
No, I
voiceover
thought,
of what's
I
in
thought
the
it was
basket.
crazy. I think our Dwayne friend here is a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
I think that still
he
can be
is.
true. I think
Yes.
that
Yes,
still
He
that
is,
is-
yeah.
yes, some
Yeah, I think he
validity to that.
is.
it's an and, not a
Yes,
but.
yes.
Right.
Good point.
Right.
Good point. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he goes up to the receptionist. Now he's trying to meet and murder this doctor as they met and murdered the previous
As
doctor.
one
Yes.
does.
He's
As
carrying
one
the
does.
basket
That's what you
around
do
New
with
York.
doctors.
And so he
Doctor's
says to this criminal genius mastermind on the level of Mr. Thanatos from Mr. Nanny says to the receptionist, I want to surprise him. Like, what's your name? And he goes, Dwayne Bradley, but don't write that down.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's a trail to himself. So he's like, Dwayne Smith.
Call me
Or whatever,
Dwayne
right?
Smith.
Surprise
Yeah.
him.
I had
You already said your name.
Right.
Yeah.
So when the
what?
cops show up, be like, did you know who came to see him right before he was murdered? Well, he said his name was Dwayne Bradley, but he told me not to write that down. And the cop's like, damn it, we're never going to find it.
Well, the trail's
He did
gone
say
cold.
said his name was Dwayne Smith. Damn, we're not going to find this guy. You know how many Dwayne Smiths there are in New York?
Seriously.
Somebody get the phone book.
Criminal genius. About to murder.
There's 500 of them in here.
About to murder this guy. And you give him
Yeah.
you give her your name.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, but don't write that anywhere.
Wait.
Right, that was surprising.
Yeah, my name is Swain Diff.
All right.
Apparently, Sharon, the receptionist, was
Yes.
lacking for guys because she was all on to him right away.
Oh yeah, immediately.
yeah.
For reasons that make no sense to any humans ever.
It's the hair.
His talk
Dwayne's
about-
hair was very impressive.
That's why I brought up Mr. Thanatos, because
Yeah.
it looked like the Mr.
It did.
Thanatos hair from
His
His hair was
His hair
big.
is
3 feet
glorious.
tall.
glorious.
Glorious.
I wouldn't go that far.
I thought that was a wig, and then I realized it wasn't.
No, that was his hair.
Man, that was brilliant hair. If I
People
was a
had
chick,
hair like
if I was a
that?
chick in the 80s, I'd be all over that hair.
He was a chick in the 80s.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay, fair enough. If I was a lesbian in the 80s, I'd be all over that hair.
Well, she was bald, so
Yeah, that would have been hilarious. He had all the hair and she was bald. That would
they
have been
should have
amazing.
leaned into it.
This is also, as he goes into Mr. Newman's office, the most ghetto doctor's office I've ever seen.
Dr. Nick
Every
from
building in
Simpsons
this.
is totally who this reminded me. If you made Dr. Nick come alive, it would be Dr. Needleman.
If I would walk into that exam room and I'd be like, nope, and I would just
yeah.
turn around.
And that weird
Yeah.
old lady talking about stuff in the
Yeah.
beginning when he walks in.
It's got the file
Yeah.
cabinets all askew and
Yeah.
everywhere, and it looks dirt. I mean,
It's like, what, you not clean this since 1965?
I realize it's likely an issue with the production. I mean, they were literally taking furniture out of the dumpster to dress sets and stuff like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
So, like, they probably made this to look like a doctor's office out of whatever dilapidated warehouse office building they
Yes.
could, stick a doctor's office in.
Right.
But it looks ridiculous. ridiculous.
They went dumpster
Yeah.
diving at IBM.
Well, it's very clear that Dr. Needleman is not at the height of the doctoring profession.
No, in fact,
True.
when I saw him, I was like, "What? Whose doctor coat did this crackhead steal?"
Yeah.
And it's pretending to be like a Catch Me If You Can situation with
Yeah.
Leo DiCaprio,
And
right?
his name, Needleman. Good name for
would've-
doctor. Very apropos for later in the
Right,
movie.
because all he does is shoot heroin
Yeah.
into people.
Right,
Probably,
I think so.
This guy-
Probably.
oof.
The doctor names were funny to me because they're like Needleman and Cutter, which is hilarious.
they were
Yeah.
absolutely creative with those.
My daughter's orthodontist is Dr. Payne,
Oh.
and my
Perfect.
wife's ophthalmologist, eye doctor, is Dr. Hell.
Nice.
All right.
So, but I love Payne. That'd be a great name for a doctor.
My
Yeah.
orthodontist's name was Dr. Chu.
Welcome to the House of Pain.
Yeah, right. I know this family. The last name is Stork, and the boys. I told one of the
Yeah.
boys, I said, you need to become a gynecologist.
That-
With
there you
last
go.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect. Delivering babies.
Delivering babies, Stork.
That's right.
Dr. Stork.
Dr. Stork.
Stork brought us to you.
That's
Yeah.
right. That'd be awesome.
Brought you to us.
That's right.
Something.
So for some reason, he comes in, Dwayne undresses. You see the horrific scar up his side.
Yeah.
Yes.
But for some reason, doesn't kill the doctor,
Right.
Right.
right?
No.
He brought the basket, doesn't kill the doctor. And for another reason, as you said, unknown to man, when he walks out, she's like super into him and wants to get his number and go out with him.
Yo, let me
she's
get that
like,
dick.
And she was
this is
like,
the second big list. What did
Sorry.
you say? Let
No,
me get that
we don't need to repeat it.
Sorry.
That's the second great list. She lists like every tourist spot in New
I was
York.
gonna
I'm
say
like, I
that.
think the tourist bureau paid them some money in order to make this
that's
movie.
part of the 35,000.
You
That was
haven't
30
seen
of the
this and
35.
Listen, the tourist guy is giving us $150.
Schlock this
It's
out.
going to buy lunch for the
Buy
day.
lunch for the day. It's our craft service
Really,
table.
every trophy in New York place
Yeah.
she listed.
Right,
Yeah.
because he let her know I'm from out of town, and so she's saying, "Okay, you're
Have
gonna
you
do
seen
some
this?
sightseeing."
You haven't seen this?
And she starts getting angry that he hasn't.
Yeah,
seen
she was
it.
like
Totally.
pissed he wasn't doing anything. So
it was all-
just get on to town.
Yeah, but it was all a cover for her just
Yes.
being super hot for his hairdo.
She wanted her hair. His hair.
He wanted to just put her hands through his curly hair,
Yeah.
straighten it out and braid it, or I don't know what she wanted to do. It didn't make any
something.
sense. The guy had like, I don't know. I don't think he had that much game. He talked to her for 4 seconds and then
Yeah.
gets the number.
He had
Yeah.
like zero game.
None at all.
Zero.
This should have been the situation where he walked out of the doctor's office after completely rejecting her unintentionally. And like 2 years later, they should have cut to 2 years later. And he's like, oh, she was hitting on me.
She wanted my number. My number 7. I'm
Did
at
you
the
guys
hotel.
also notice when he goes in?
Go ahead.
Did you also notice when he goes in that Dr. Needle Eyes or whatever his name is, Needleman, kind of was like,
You
he took
think
his shirt-
so?
He did. He went like,
Oh,
you can't see
maybe.
it on,
I missed
on the-
that.
I'm moving my eyes up and down for the
Yeah.
podcast listeners. Like,
No, maybe.
you're a hot young guy with hair.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I want your hair.
I want your hair. He was kinda
That's
balding.
why his riz was so high. It was
Yeah.
because of the hairdo.
hair.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yeah.
I just want to comb your hair.
I realized the next scene why he didn't go in, even though every other person they run into they kill immediately. But for some reason, the doctor they go see and don't kill the first time because they needed him to call Dr. Cutter to warn her
Yes.
that
Yeah.
the guy's back in town.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So he's like, I can't kill you in the scene because I need you. We can't finish the movie. So you got to make this plot point happen, and then I'll
He
come
needed
back
to
and kill
find
you
out-
later.
He needed to find out Dr. Cutter's number and address.
Right.
I'll be back.
Yes.
So Needleman calls Cutter to be like, Lifflander's dead. This guy is back. The dude we performed this surgery on, he knows. And we realize that this monster he's carrying around in the basket is, in fact,
We don't know
his-
this yet.
We don't know this
No,
yet? When do we
don't
find
know.
that out?
We don't find it out yet.
All right. Well, the audience is going to find out now. So
We got a scar.
we've got a scar.
We had the
And we
scar.
realized that these doctors were involved somehow.
Yes.
And Dr. Cutter's out with some hot guy, like a gigolo.
Yeah, when she answers the phone.
And she's like, don't bother me. I'm on a hot date. And nothing's going to happen to us.
Did you get the vibe that she was going to murder that boy?
Maybe.
I got the vibe that she didn't know how to move any of the muscles in her body.
She
Because
was not
she
a good
was-
actress.
No, this was her only.
I think
acting
she was
performance.
going to ride that young man.
I got a murdery vibe from her,
no,
though.
I didn't get murdered. I got
She's like,
lustful
here,
perhaps.
drink more. I like you when you
more.
slobber.
I was,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like murdery cougary vibe.
And then later we can drink these candles from these glasses.
I've got an ice pick that I'm gonna give you a lobotomy later. No, you ever hear that song "Like a Stone"?
No.
No.
Sing it for
I think. I'm not. You want me to sing it?
us. How does it go?
No.
Okay.
It's- you
All
make
right,
me-
finish
make it
your.
weird.
Sorry.
No, I think they wrote that based off of watching her act.
She was bad actress.
I mean, like Chris Cornell watched this movie and was inspired.
And then he's like, "I'll wait for you there, like a stone."
Perfect.
That was
Perfect.
beautiful. I still don't
Why'd
know
you
the
make
song.
me do that, James?
So when Needleman calls, Cutter's like, whatever. This guy we cut this conjoined twin off of, which is what happened. The little guy
Listen, needle dick.
is his twin brother.
That's every time I thought. I just think back to Waterboy. Needle dick.
And so she kind of blows off the phone call and goes back to her hot date.
Yeah.
Well, she's
Right?
busy.
She was
Got
busy.
stuff to do.
I'm about to get it on. Get out of here.
Yep.
Got people to do, and
So later that night, Dwayne comes back to Dr. Needleman's office and he empties the basket on the floor in the hallway in front of his door. He waits for Sharon to leave.
Yeah.
She gets
Yeah.
in the elevator. He doesn't want to hurt Sharon. Literally drops him in the hallway and is like, tells little bro, don't take forever. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait outside.
And make sure you get the Rolodex.
yeah,
Right. Because he needs
He
the number.
needs Dr. Cutter's.
needs
This-
the number.
This little dude who looks, I'm not exaggerating, he looks like a little dead-faced baked potato.
Yep, with arms.
You know what he looks like?
Okay.
He looks like the alien, like the alien butler to Jabba the Hutt. With his big fat neck.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he looks
It's about
like.
Bib Fortuna?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like, dude.
Yep. He's,
All right.
he's a head glob, I call him.
Like if you cut his
Right.
head off.
Head glob with hands, and it's dangerous.
But the face, it just looks, it's not animated at all. It's just a
No.
rubber face.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
this dead face.
yeah.
And he breaks the
eyes.
door down. Okay.
Yeah.
Like this little dude can
He doesn't
generate
have
enough
legs.
For
power.
like a quarter of a
Yeah.
person, he's strong as hell.
He literally is a baked potato. He's just a little potato man. He has one arm,
Two arms.
two arms,
He's got two arms.
one longer than the other, and the rest of him is just a
Yeah.
It looks like bones wrapped in a spilled milkshake.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
is what it looks like.
The Mr. Potato Plant only filled half a mold on this guy.
They ran out of money to make the monsters. They're just like, we just got their head done, boss. Oh, okay.
Stick
Put some arms on
Put
that
some-
bad boy. We'll
Put some
call it
arms
good.
where the ears
Yeah.
go, and we'll call it good.
And I heard a little girl had to do the arm movement because it was too small.
It's shrunk.
like
yeah.
an 8-year-old. I'm like,
But
you
like-
subjected an 8-year-old to this movie?
yeah, right.
They put like silly putty into half of an egg.
Yes.
That's what it ended up looking
Yes.
Yeah,
Perfect.
spilling
stick
over
a
the
couple
sides.
eyes on it, and
Yeah.
It
Call it
breathes
a
really
day.
heavily when it moves around, too.
Yeah.
All right, so little bro potato breaks down the door. He gets into the office. Needleman starts to freak out.
Yeah, so here's the dumbest thing in the movie,
Yeah.
I think. The light goes off in the other room, and Needleman walks towards the dark room.
He's
Yeah.
like, "Whoa, why did the light
Where
go
it's
off?" in this
clearly,
room?
whatever is coming for you is in the dark room, and he
But-
just walks towards
But even dumber than that is when he slid the desk in front of the door that opened
out.
outward.
Well, he's not getting through that.
Not getting through that.
And he tries to move the file cabinet, he can't, so he just makes a mess of everything.
Guess I'm fine now.
Yeah, I'm good.
Guess this outward door will keep me safe with the desk in front of it.
And when he goes over and he goes into the exam room where the light comes out, flicks it on, and little bro is stuck on the wall like the grab hands you get at the dentist office.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true.
He's just like suction cupped to the wall.
That's so funny.
He just leaps on him around the neck
Yeah.
and just now he's
Again, he's
just
doing
wrestling
that
around.
thing where he's killing him somehow, but not moving his hand.
Right.
He's not moving anything.
Not moving anything.
Because they had the
But
dummy
he's good
just
at
on
cutting
him.
them all to pieces.
Yeah. By the time he's done, his face all sliced
bleeding
up and he's
bloody.
Oh, man,
Then you
let's
see him
slice
go
him in
into
half.
the midsection, and then the next
oh
time
yeah, he reaches
cuts
into his
him in
stomach.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Split him in parts.
Split them in half. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the second Doctor dead now. We'll find out why later, but they're on a revenge tour here essentially.
Yes.
Should we be counting dead doctors here?
We should.
Put
That's
a couple
two
on the board.
Put a
We got two.
Here we go. We're at 2.
Two doctors.
Two doctors down.
All right, so now that that's out of the way, and Mr. Needleman is Mr. Needleman. Sorry, he didn't go to 7 years of school to be called Mr. Dr. Needleman. Pretty sure
probably
also
got
didn't
his
go to
degree
7
from
years. Of
Yeah.
school.
He probably got his degree from that crack dealer out on the
Yeah, that's
street.
right. That's right.
I got doctor degrees.
Now that Dwayne's got this out of the way, he can go on a lunch date
Go on
with
a-
Sharon.
A whole day date. She was off. They were off on
Right.
Wednesday.
Yeah,
But
it's
you
Wednesday.
can't let Brotato, no.
No.
Potato. So he goes and buys a whole ass TV.
It's a TV.
Just to go on a date with this girl.
Yeah.
He's like, look, I got you a TV. I'm not going to go do anything important, but here's a television.
Now listen,
Old school
let me
Philco.
slap it on.
in defense of the glob,
Yes.
I'd be pissed too if someone set a TV up but didn't tune in any channels.
That's what I
and
was
just
right.
left the room, be like, "Hey, what's going on? You're gonna go out and make it with a chick, and I gotta sit here and not watch
He
TV,
did like
but
a
know that the
half-ass
TV
effort
on."
trying to
Yeah, he
tune that
rips
in.
he tries to tune it and he pulls the
Pulls an
knob
antenna
off.
up and
And he's like, see ya.
see ya.
And
Peace.
He's
he
like,
gets-
it's
yeah.
pretty nice. He pulls the thing. I'm
Yeah.
like, yep. See, there it is.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Bye.
There you go.
And
There you go.
you're right. I'm watching this, looking at the TV. I'm not
Yeah.
worried about anything else other than he can't watch this.
No, it's not tuned
Yeah.
in to anything.
It's like,
What's he
you
gonna
know
do?
It's like, hey, yeah, here.
At least put on daytime soap or something. I mean, there's
Tuned
got to
it
be 50
in.
channels in New York, right?
all you got to do is move the antennas a
Yeah.
little bit.
Have fun. I'm gonna go get some ass.
Yeah.
Right. That's pretty much what happened. So he goes out, leave because he doesn't obviously want her to know. Can't go on a date with little bro.
No.
Right.
And so he goes and this is the shot where it cuts to the Statue of Liberty and they're hanging out at the Statue of Liberty, okay? And it's a really awkward short date, but of course they kind of immediately start kissing after exchanging like 3 lines of dialogue.
This is
Yeah.
almost as bad as the teeth kissing from what movie was that?
Yeah, it was.
The teeth was a big hit.
Yeah,
it's
big hit,
almost
yeah.
as bad as the teeth kissing from Big Hit.
It was pretty bad.
It was pretty bad.
It was
it was
lots
his
of
first
tongue.
kiss.
lots of tongue. His first
we
kiss for
find
sure.
out. Yeah.
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 His first time
It
seeing
looked like
a
his
woman
first.
for sure.
Yeah, pretty much.
Even it probably was for his for real first kiss,
Yeah.
not just
Yeah.
his, in
Yeah,
the movie.
Maybe.
But because they're telepathically linked, as soon as he starts smooching on this girl, little bro in the basket pops out like, "Let me get them lips."
What's going on?
Like I feel tingly in my nowhere area because I don't have anything.
Well,
gets
he might have something.
Mad, so
He's
mad.
pissed.
He's pissed.
He
tears
destroys the
place
entire
apart.
hotel room.
He's like, oh, so you'll kiss her but not me?
Bro jumps down. He's taking the bed and he's just shaking the bed. And
Yeah, and he's
causing
going. All
this
the other
craziness.
people in the hotel are like, "What's going on in
he
there?
went
What's
full-
going
The
on?"
whole hotel.
place comes up and wants to find out.
Yeah.
Remind me of Last Starfighter.
There's
Big
like
supportive community in the hotel. A bunch of
3
crackheads. and-
different scenes where the whole hotel is in that hall.
Yes,
Right,
they
yeah,
are. That was our go-to hotel scene. Just everybody pile, and they were all different actors except for like the 2 main principal. Or
Right.
3 main
Every single
people.
time because it would be like, who could they get off the street?
Who's the
Right.
next stand-in? I'm like,
come
yeah. I actually
stand
wrote
in the
that in one
hallway.
of the scenes where they go into the room. There's like a completely new person in there. You're like, I didn't see him in the crowd of people just a minute before.
No, and I think we can assume this is a daily hotel, maybe an hourly hotel. You know,
Right.
I
But
don't
It
know
was probably by the minute
what's
if you
going
went
on
on
in
it.
there.
This is a nice place that I chose to live for 3 hours.
Yes.
But all of a sudden in the bedroom, it turns into a demonic Wallace and Gromit episode,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
it's just like stop motion
It was
animation
stop motion, wasn't it?
yeah.
That
out
was
of nowhere.
Really creepy.
Like,
It made it creepier, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't
Yeah.
think the rest of it was though.
No, it's just those times where he had to be shown moving independently.
Yeah.
They couldn't figure out
Yeah.
how to do it from a puppetry standpoint.
Couldn't they
So they do stop
should
motion.
have just tied some fish line across on him.
Just drag him
drag him.
around.
well, yeah, he's got no
Do
legs.
a couple
It
of
wouldn't-
strings though. I mean, you probably could have done it.
Oh, so you can go left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll look
Just
super
saying,
they didn't
realistic.
show him moving.
It probably
a lot,
looked
but
better
you're
than
right, that is
stop
how
motion.
They did that.
They did.
They only did that
Basically
once or
like a
twice.
snail. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered. You could pull
Yeah.
him.
I had for the first time in 100 and some episodes, I turned my volume off when he was screaming
Yeah, he made a
because
bad
I
scream
couldn't
noise.
stand the noise.
Yeah, it was
It's bad.
terrible.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, over and just nonstop for like
It was
felt
a
like
long
2
time.
minutes straight.
Big pointy teeth.
Yeah, and then at one point he pulls out the blood-soaked file and he pulls it and he pauses. Then he realizes he doesn't know how to read and just starts throwing that stuff all over the place.
Is that why you did it?
I think so because what's the pause for?
He just
Right.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
there was a lot of paper in that little folder.
Yeah.
It was everywhere all
Entire
over the room.
All right, so
But then we missed a good line though.
tell me.
After
Tell me the line.
after the Eiffel Tower, not Eiffel Tower.
They went all the way to Paris.
Paris, yeah.
Here's some
after
TV, I'll be
Statue of
back.
Liberty, which apparently they didn't get permission to film. They just
No.
filmed it.
No, they
and
just-
they're like,
yeah.
we'll get that, we'll get out, whatever we get. But he's like, he said something like, To be truthful, I didn't really want to see this. Just wanted to be with you. And she says, "You dummy! I suggested we tour the city for the same reason you went along with it.
Right.
You did.
And then the music swells.
It swells. It's the hair. It's the superpowers. The major kiss.
Right. And we didn't see while they were kissing, it was just off camera. She pulled a piece of his hair and cut it off behind him
she
so
can
she
keep
could
that.
eat it later.
Yeah.
Just to stain her wig.
Just-
Weave. Just give herself a weave.
her wig is made of the hairs of boyfriends past. Seriously.
I only date blondes normally.
What's that black streak in your hair?
The entire hotel ends up inside Dwayne's room.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
trashed. The hotel manager tries to kick everybody out. They realize, well, guess this is fine. There's nothing in here. And they all kind of go away.
Was that Josephine who spoke again?
Yes.
Yeah.
It sounded like they sped up her dialogue. She
think they
spoke
did.
so fast.
Yeah.
It was very odd.
It probably was her trying to remember her lines, and it
Yeah.
sounded so bad they had to speed it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, yeah, it's weird because like he's smashing things and it's making so much noise.
Yeah.
You get in, there's nothing.
You know, he's like taking a nap in the toilet
Yeah.
or something.
And they're like, it is weird because they're just like, there's nothing, I
Nothing
guess.
here, I
We
guess.
just
And the window.
we all made this
but
up.
the window was open, so it made him think
Yeah,
that
yeah,
whoever
that's
was
right.
in here crawled out the window.
Crawled out the window.
Right.
But it's,
Yeah.
it's like, oh,
But as soon as they all leave, O'Donovan's still horny for that money, so he got to go back inside
had to go
Yep.
back inside.
room number 7.
Yeah, you knew O'Donovan's in trouble.
Oh yeah.
Going for
Because
that money.
he saw the cash when they all went in there.
Yeah.
So everybody kind of goes away.
was a
he
lot
goes
of money.
back in, gets the
was.
money,
Yeah.
grabs his little wad, but he won't just walk out the room.
No, he's
No.
gotta look at the drawer.
He's got to open the basket,
Oh, he opens the basket.
right?
He opens
Yeah.
it.
This
Bunch
is where
of
we
people do
first
this.
meet the guy. No, we've seen the blob.
No, we've seen the
We've
blob
seen the
already.
blob in the doctor's office, and O'Donovan starts getting attacked by little brotato, as you called him. But it was funny, almost to me, the way I saw it. He was like, "No, wait, I have to get killed in my room." So he wrestles himself out the door, down the hallway,
That's true.
into his
Yes,
own
that's
room,
right.
closes the door of his
Yeah.
room, so he can die in his own hotel room.
Well,
And
it
lock
works,
it
so
too.
no one
No.
knows
For plot
Dwayne's
reasons.
guilty.
Yeah.
For plot reasons, exactly.
It's ridiculous. And
As he's attacking, all of a sudden Dwayne is like,
Yeah,
"Oh no,
because
something's going
the
on."
link.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
telepathically linked. We learned.
And
So
so
he's
he-
not just crazy.
He rips her tongue out of his face. And he's like, wait,
I gotta
we
go.
got a problem.
He runs.
books it. Now, this was one of the funniest parts of the movie. Sharon follows him all the way to the hotel from the Statue
Yeah.
of Liberty.
Yeah.
As there's all these people gathered around, what happened? What happened? He freaked the actor. You can't be here.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
I don't want him to. He grabs, like Brock Lesnar's
Yes.
her against
Yeah.
the wall,
Right.
He
and then
slammed it.
chucks her.
I don't want her to kill you too. Get out of here.
I'm
just
surprised.
manhandled her.
Yeah, it looked like he probably hurt her.
Yes.
Like, that
Yeah.
was like, that
Well,
was
later
like,
on,
bro,
she's
chill.
like, even though you treated me like that, I'd come back.
yeah, in a wheelchair.
Even though I couldn't go to Needleman to pop my shoulder back in after you did that.
After he dislocates her shoulder, she still stands up. She's like, "Honey, wait."
Yeah.
Yeah, but poor old Brian Mickey O'Donovan is dead.
Yeah, Donovan.
Yeah, well,
O'Donovan.
He's dead.
Had it coming.
He got his money, but it didn't last.
Didn't last.
And so when Dwayne gets upstairs, the cops are already up there questioning people. This crack squad of detectives pull him into his room, or into his apartment, which is really a hotel room.
Well, he
number
busts
7.
past him. He runs past
Yeah.
the,
At 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, like
Up the
don't,
stairs.
This isn't conspicuous.
Yeah,
Ah!
right.
I don't know what's going on here.
Gets up, X, then super calm at the door when
Yeah.
they actually start to
Yeah.
question him.
The super smooth cop comes in.
Yeah.
Detective.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ask, like, "You got any dogs?"
Got any
No,
pets in
no.
there?
Yeah, you sure? How about dogs? That's like 4 times.
I'm gonna do what I call the sneaky sneak. You got dogs? How about dogs?
Right. And then basically after 2 minutes, like, "All right, your story checks out."
Yeah.
That
He
checks
seems
out.
like a trustworthy guy.
And then he
Real
does
straight
really
shooter.
smooth into his pocket with his card.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was smooth.
Yeah.
That was smooth.
Why was that so smooth?
It just was, man.
That was
He was smooth.
perfect.
Practiced
I
that,
like that
for
cop.
12 hours.
Right. He's just standing around waiting.
He was
Waiting on set.
That's right.
super
It's my
smooth.
day to pull my card out.
I'm gonna get the card right.
Cop leaves. Little bro reverse poops out of the toilet. Okay.
He's apparently very squishy because that wasn't a very big toilet. I mean, he was like in the toilet.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he
I
was
had
in there.
I had problems with the fact that he could fit into any space that he needed to.
Yeah.
The
He's
basket
malleable.
alone, he shouldn't have.
I'm telling you, the guy's a spilled milkshake. It's
Yeah.
It
basically.
was a very touching moment. Dwayne takes him out and starts patting him off the towel.
Yeah.
and they're
Yeah, they
talking.
nuzzle on the
So
floor. It's more
gross.
believable romance than Dwayne and Sharon.
And you
true.
know that
Yeah.
toilet probably needed to be plunged in that place.
Oh,
Oh yeah, you're right. It's not that he was in a toilet; he was in that
He was
toilet.
in that
Yeah.
toilet.
Blech.
And we learned that Dwayne and the glob bro potato have an unhealthy relationship.
Right, codependent. for sure.
Codependent, yeah. And I was just thinking, poor Dwayne probably should not have gone along with the blob brother wanting to kill people.
No.
Yeah.
Probably should have found another solution to his problems.
Yeah,
maybe go get some therapy.
there is at least what I appreciate about this movie is that it does, at least compared to other films that we've done recently, have something to say. It seems. I don't know how
Yeah.
well they're saying it, but there is some kind of
Yes.
message
Yes.
to
Yeah.
the movie
Yes.
about him and his brother Belial, which is actually little bro's name is Belial.
Belial, which is they telegraph a lot of things in this movie with names.
Yeah.
So Belial is a Hebrew term
Oh,
for wicked or worthless, and it's also used in 2 Corinthians 6:15. What harmony is there between Christ and Belial? So Belial stands in for the devil there.
interesting. See,
That's very
I had no idea.
So at the very least, he's wicked and worthless. At the best, he's the devil.
I just assumed he had a cousin named Belial or something. That's
yeah.
why he named it. Wow, what forethought they
Belial.
put into
yes.
Yeah.
that. Wow.
Dr. Needleman, Cutter.
Yeah.
When we get to those scenes in a moment,
Dr. Conjoined Twin
they
Hater.
That was a dad's name.
I'm not sure.
dad's name.
The Flander doesn't seem to follow that pattern exactly, but maybe I missed something in that. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, the next big scene in the movie is Casey, who is his neighbor, is this prostitute that lives next door to him.
Yeah.
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 And he ends up in the bar after the bad date with Sharon and what ends
this
up
was
happening.
weird.
And he ends up drinking he brought his basket to the bar with
Yes.
him.
Yeah.
And he's getting drunk, and Casey's like, "Come to the back table. We'll get drunk back there."
Yeah.
And this is what I wrote down because I had to get my thoughts straight on this. I feel like the director went up to them in between the shots and goes, "Okay, look, I'm glad you got the note about laughing directly into each other's faces. Okay. I don't want you to do it normal. I appreciate it,
What a drunk.
but I need you to be closer. Okay, could you possibly get
Yeah.
closer?"
They were really
It was
close.
so
It was
weird.
a nice
Yeah.
intimate moment.
They're laughing so close into their faces, their teeth were going to collide
Yeah.
at different points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not natural in any way, shape, or form.
No.
And
Not
this is
at all.
where he spills his guts about
Yes.
his life and
Because out of all the people that asked what's in the basket, she definitely asked in the weirdest way anybody else.
Yeah.
how did she do it?
It was just like, what's in the basket? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And
Well,
so,
and by then she was drunk,
They
I
were very
think,
drunk.
right?
Yeah.
So it was just kind of going to be a weird way anyway.
so for the first time in the movie, he tells her,
Yeah.
it's my conjoined twin.
Mike and Joe, my
Yeah.
Siamese twin.
And he's laughing
He's laughing
hysterically
hysterically.
he
about it.
thinks it's hilarious.
Right.
Yeah.
They'd even do like but you know, look Chinese joke.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm a Siamese twin.
Siamese twin.
And then they both at the same time, but
Uh-huh.
you don't
You
look
don't look
Oriental or
Chi-
whatever.
She starts to freak out a little bit. And she even says to him, "You're freaking me out here."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he keeps telling the story. And yeah, we get
My twin is
the flashback. Pretty long.
Yeah, we get a
Long
long
flashback.
flashback.
We find out that when Dwayne was born, they were conjoined twins, which we already knew.
Yep.
That the father,
the mom died in birth.
The mom died. And,
yes,
yep.
that's important. And so
father's
because of it, the
very
father
angry.
hated the
Yes,
son,
the son.
Yep.
and obviously the fact he thought the son was a freak.
Yeah.
He goes, "No, I have a son and I have a thing or whatever it is."
Yeah. He basically was like,
But
it's not even, yeah.
Right.
he wasn't wrong.
All right.
I mean, he wasn't wrong.
I mean,
It was a murderous outgrowth
Well,
of his
yes.
actual
How
son.
would it have been if it had been properly nurtured? That's the real question.
Yeah, so let's dig deep into that. Okay, what we have here is this
Yeah,
an
so we gotta get our
environmental failure?
beard stroking
Yeah.
and our
Yeah.
lattes and
Well-
Was this a failure of environment or is it nurture or is
was
he always going to
well,
be nurtured?
he had a good relationship with his aunt. She
Yeah.
cared for Belial and for Dwayne.
The only one, when Dad stepped
Yeah.
aside,
Yeah.
she's essentially raised them.
Step aside, you mean got cut in half?
Hey, you should like them. She homeschooled them.
But yeah, that was good. Where did it go wrong? It went wrong when Dwayne didn't let Waste Management come pick him up. That's where
Oh, Oh, bro.
Well, there's a little bit of a confusing issue in here with Belial.
Yes.
Is when finally we get to the point where Dad finds the doctors who will do the surgery to separate them.
But he's
Yeah.
Dwayne's 12 at this point.
Yes,
Yes.
Dr. Cutter does say that he doesn't have any organs or anything. He's just tissue. And I'm
Right.
well, how
Connected to just tissue.
Yeah, how exactly does he live at all then if he doesn't
Right.
have any organs?
Right.
within
And let's be
himself?
honest, if it's just tissue, why don't we just do this like a Band-Aid
Yeah.
and just,
Rip it off.
just rip this thing off.
Right.
Yeah.
So and then as it goes in, they show the scene of him getting removed or separated.
On the dining room
And
They
table.
grab
This
the
is
kid,
where-
they drag him
Yes.
downstairs, and they go, literally the line is, we're just going into the dining room. Meanwhile, the dining room
Is an operating room.
looks like they turned it into an OR.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't say we're just going into the dining room.
Dr. Cutter brought in her horse
When we're gonna have a-
operating kit.
We're going to have a back alley surgery.
Yes,
back
pretty much, yes. And one of my favorite lines is, and this shows you Dr. Nick probably hasn't gone to medical school. He says, as Dwayne and Belial are squirming around, he says, "This isn't going to work if he's squirming around." And I was thinking, that's really not something you want a doctor to hear. So Dr. Needleman, as his character's name, is the guy that has the needles that
Yes.
keeps injecting.
Yeah, he's shooting
Dwayne
like
and
rhino
Belial.
tranquilizer
Yes.
into this guy, into this thing's head like
Finally,
twice.
they settle down, and Dr. Cutter then with all the blades,
Yeah.
and like the messiest surgery ever, blood squirting everywhere.
What do you say? It
Yeah.
was too on the nose
Little
with the
on the
names.
nose with the name, maybe. Yeah.
And all the sound effects are duct tape
Yes.
and cabbage heads being
It
broken.
was really juicy sounding.
That's all it was. You could tell it was strips of duct tape being torn off the
Yeah.
roll
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
crushing cabbage.
And there's blood just
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they take him, they put him in a hefty bag
Yep.
after they separate him. They put him out behind like the 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
You know, like the street or whatever. And then now he's asleep, all bandaged up. Dwayne is now just a single person.
Yeah.
And he telepathically calls from the trash bin
Yes.
to Dwayne to come and save him.
Yeah.
And as you say, yes, doesn't let waste management take him away.
Yeah. Dwayne's like opening the bags. He's like, nope, that's a baby. Sorry.
That's terrible.
They come back. So he brings Belial back to the house.
Yes.
And what the hell do they do in the basement? They construct this
I
giant
think
saw.
Rolling
very-
saw
I think Belial
blade
was-
of death.
Yeah, Belial was the one down there.
Belial was giving Dwayne some telepathic instructions on creating a
Something.
death
So
machine.
the dad goes downstairs
It's the most random thing.
and there's sawing, like buzz saw going.
Yeah.
There's a hand saw going. There's a hammer
You hear all the
going.
sound
Yes.
effects.
And they're all going like different times, but then also simultaneously.
Dwayne
and
was
then-
busy.
He's got two
Yeah.
saws.
Well, there are four
a
hands.
saw
I
and a
guess.
hammer. Yeah. And so he like is going around and finally he like stops.
We don't see anything ever. It's
Yeah.
just the
No.
sound.
It's just a sound. And
and he's walking through the gigantic basement,
Basement,
Yeah.
trying to find where these construction noises are coming
Yeah.
from.
Yeah.
And then they go silent. Is that?
Yeah, then they just
Yeah.
stop.
No,
Just
you see
stop.
the saw.
Well, yes, but the noises
the
go
noise
silent.
goes
yeah,
silent
yeah,
as soon as he
Right?
goes down there.
Because apparently they were just finishing.
They just
that
finished
saw.
up. Yeah. Well, they hadn't had time to clean up. He stepped on some nails and
Yeah,
their
he was
boards
stepping
laying
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
stepped on a
Yeah.
nail like on
on
just
the
the head
head.
of it.
Yeah.
He's like, ow!
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Dad's like, this is strange. Somebody's building something down
Yes.
here at 3
Yeah.
o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Clears a corner, and I don't know how to describe it other than it's a 20-foot saw blade,
It reminded me
12
of,
feet maybe, a 12-foot saw
Yeah.
It
blade.
reminded me of something from Nothing But Trouble.
Yeah.
It was on like a track and it came sliding down and
It's
cut
on like
old man
a
in half.
radio flyer wagon on the
Yeah.
bottom.
Yeah.
All these unnecessary boards sticking out of it.
My,
Logger saw from the mill.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, my cat liked this scene. Earl Grey was watching this. He thought that was pretty impressive.
will you build that for me so I
yeah,
can chase it?
yeah, exactly.
I don't know. What are we going to do today, Ferb? Let's build a giant saw.
A giant saw on the death.
The saw rolls down and splits the dad in half.
Right.
And you
Yeah.
just see his legs.
Because we get a leg following a different direction, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best cherry on the scene though is the next shot. They're hiding because of what happened. Dwayne and Belial are hiding in the attic or something, and you see the aunt come upstairs, and she knows they're hiding somewhere, and so she's talking to them. She's like, "It's okay, guys, it's over. The cops don't know who or even what killed your father."
Pretty sure it was a saw.
Like, do you want to? I don't know. You want to check the 12-foot saw for DNA and see if maybe that
Well,
was
it was
it.
82. There wasn't any DNA
They're
yet.
like, well, there's blood everywhere, so it might not have
everywhere.
been that saw.
Yeah. Yeah.
He did step on a nail.
He stepped on the nail.
The line wasn't funny when she said they don't know who. I get that, but then when she said or what killed your father.
Maybe they're really good at covering their tracks. I mean, he got away with a lot of murders.
They
What
did.
could have just sawed him literally in half?
Maybe it's this giant saw over here, Captain or
Right.
detective.
What they do?
No,
Put that in the
could be
hefty
that.
bag
That's
where they
what
got
they
him
did.
from.
Hefty bag, yeah,
The
yeah.
coroner's like, this is a real head
yeah.
scratcher.
I mean,
Got your
it's
back,
small
you detective.
small town, upstate New York. Maybe they don't got the quality.
This one's the
Splitting.
thinker.
Split in half could really be anything, really. Just there's a nasty virus going around.
Might have been diabetes.
Put it down as COVID. Okay. Casey, now it cuts back. They were raised by the aunt, essentially. The aunt then passed away, and this is what caused him to come from Glen Falls to New York to
Yep.
do this.
You want another piece of trivia?
Please.
So the bedtime story she reads
Yeah. Oh, right before. Yes.
is from Shakespeare's The Tempest.
Oh.
And she's reading a speech by a character called Caliban, a deformed animalistic creature that once attempted to rape the protagonist's daughter and was enslaved as a result.
Oh,
Bro,
that's
this
not
movie-
foreshadowing.
So look, the movie guys, they're going deep. Mr.
Right.
Mr.
I need to stroke my beard.
Right? They're just like,
Whatever.
don't judge us for this horrible scene. It was in Shakespeare.
Yes, exactly.
We stole this.
That's right.
Yep.
From something far better than what we're doing.
Wow.
All right, so it cuts back, and Casey is literally dragging drunk Dwayne and his basket up the stairs of the hotel.
Yes.
She finally, after a very prolonged back and forth, finally gets him into the room.
Well, first, he's like, no, you open your door first.
Right. Yeah.
And so she opens her door, and then he's like, now walk me to my room.
Right, why though?
And he
There's a reason for
Yeah.
the
then he
plot.
falls asleep in the
It's a total plot machination.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was the
100%.
sloppiest way
Could
to
you
do
do me a
it.
favor? Could you just open your door? Otherwise, the next scene's not going to make any sense. That'd be great.
They could have just left both the windows open.
Right.
Right.
Because he left the basket in the hallway while he was getting laid in bed. Then he gets
Just
up, goes,
being
oh,
He was
laid
getting
down
laid
in
down
bed.
in bed.
Yeah.
but not getting laid.
Not laid in bed.
She is laying
Laying
him
him
into
down.
the
He
bed.
was not getting laid.
No, he didn't have enough money. He
Because
realizes
O'Donohue took it or whatever the hell his name was.
he's like, oh, I forgot the basket in the hallway.
Yeah.
Doesn't realize it's about 100 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
It would
He's
have
been
been
drunk.
Yeah.
because
Guess you
Like-
lost weight.
It's
little
like
bro.
beer makes me strong. This just weighs nothing anymore.
Remind me to get you some more of them hamburgers in the morning.
Lil Bro had now snuck into Casey's room
Yeah.
while she's in here putting him to sleep. And so when she gets back into her room, she starts getting into her jammies.
Yeah.
And when she gets into bed,
Well,
Lil
first-
Bro's behind the table.
There's 75 smiley faces in this room, dude.
Yes.
What, you have a problem with Casey's
She had a
decorating?
nice
It was
smiley
all
face
smiley
Jamie
faces.
shirt
It was
on.
kind of creepy.
It was a consistent theme.
And then she
Yeah.
walks
Yeah.
out from the bathroom
think-
wearing smiley face
I think
t-shirt.
Casey has kind of a rough life. She needs some smiles in her life.
I know
Oh.
you're married to an interior decorator.
Yeah. Not all
Did
of
she
us
watch
do
this
that.
with you?
Yes.
Did she have a lot of
That
thoughts
was the
about
first
this?
thing she said. Like, what's with the smiley faces? There's 75 of them.
You know how I'm not an interior decorator?
I had to
didn't
hear
even
about it,
recognize
so
the
now you
smiley
have to hear
faces
about it.
except on the. I only noticed the smiley face on her yellow out nightgown.
Honestly, that's all.
That's
I only
interesting.
noticed some too. So
What drew your eyes to her smiley face on her t-shirt?
She's got some nice assets going on. She's a capable working
it's
girl.
a dirty, dingy place. You gotta dress it up somehow, and
gotta
what
brighten
better
the
way
room.
than to put smiley faces on it?
I knew the second you brought that up that was a Lauren thing.
Oh yeah, but I think the reason is they were trying to show that this is a happy place where
Happy
people get
place.
happy.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
Well,
indeed- that's
they were getting
indeed what
happy
it
in her
was.
room.
Happy
That's
in her
for sure.
It's really
So-
a subtle undertone that they were trying to show.
When she gets into bed, Lil Bro just literally like knocks over the pillow he was hiding
Yep.
behind. He's right
yeah, he was right.
there. Once again, once he got a taste, last time, now he can't
Yeah.
stop.
A little
right?
thirsty.
Yeah.
Belial a little thirsty right
Yeah.
now. He's won
Bro
himself
Tato
some.
looking for some action,
Yeah.
man. He just
He cops a feel,
Yep.
Feel.
and she freaks out.
Freaks out
Oh, yeah.
appropriately so.
Yeah.
Probably.
right.
Yes.
She didn't ask if he had any money, did she?
And he escapes again.
Yeah, he moves quick.
They don't show
Seriously.
how he
Yeah,
just
he just
This is
gone.
the fastest overcooked demon muffin of any time.
overcooked. Demon.
You know, you overcook a muffin, it spills out over the
yeah,
muffin
yeah,
tin.
yeah. Muffin top.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
exactly.
it
It's
is.
like a little muffin top. But he's a better ninja than the ninjas in the American Ninja movies.
That he is. That's true.
He constantly is silently, quickly
Yes.
moving from place
Now,
to place.
to place.
That's interesting. Would Ninja Assassin be given a run for their money with him.
From terms of capability, they're close.
Yeah.
They're very close.
Because he's a ghost when he wants to be.
Yeah.
And he can go like all the way around the building.
He can
Seriously.
Their
suction the
rooms are like
wall.
opposite sides.
Yeah.
He's apparently boneless. He can hide anywhere.
Is that his anus that suctions the wall?
It might be. He eats.
Don't want to think
He's got to have some way to get rid
It's
of
got to
it.
come out somewhere.
So how do you even use that for suction? You just reverse fart, and that's how you gotta just suction
He just
it.
puckers up. He's just got a big
got
suction
suction.
going on.
Suction capability on his
Something
anus.
I never thought I'd ever be talking about ever in my life. Okay. After she freaks out and the whole hotel is in the hallway again.
Yes, they're
there's
all in the very
Yes.
supportive community. If someone yells, they all come
So
out.
they have to.
a great moment when the hotel manager
Yes.
comes downstairs and what does he yell? I don't even remember.
He's all, I got it.
Yeah.
He says, "This isn't a hotel; it's a nut house."
Yeah.
He's so angry with them too, and they're in the hallway.
Yes.
And like 3 times he runs up and splits these people that are standing. Get out of my way.
Get out of here. You don't
He
even live
just
here.
wants to run a hotel.
Just wants
He
to run
doesn't
a
want all
hotel.
this extraneous
I
crap
know. I think I
going
was
on.
supposed to feel bad for certain characters, but the only one I actually felt bad for was the hotel
Hotel
manager.
manager.
Yeah.
I could see that. Yeah. I
For
think.
sure.
Yeah, this was another thing that my wife really had a hard time with.
Oh yeah.
Is the fact that all of the characters had the same outfit on the entire movie. And she's like, do they never change their clothes?
Yeah.
I was like, they had a
true.
$1.35 to make this.
It was only like 3 days though.
Right, but still, I mean,
you know, I would
Casey's the only one that really changed her clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those were just her clothes.
right.
Right.
For sure.
This isn't a hotel; it's a nut house.
Oh my gosh. All right. So,
And turns out thirsty little bro's got some underwear to play with now.
oh, that's right. I
yeah.
forgot about that.
That
He
was
took
weird.
her underwear.
Took her into
That was weird.
He's like, not only am I trying to make a hasteful escape, but I have time to snatch
grab
your
some undies.
undies
Snatch the undies.
off the floor. I'm telling you, man, once he kissed Sharon, he ignited something inside a little bro.
I don't have any stories about underwear. That's not.
I'm happy to hear that.
in my wheelhouse. I'm not an underwear guy.
That's right. You can play the.
Oh my god.
Cue the anthem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't got to worry about that with me, buddy.
Perfect,
No stories
perfect.
about that.
So happy.
Oh my gosh. All right, so the next thing they do is they now got their final doctor they've got to kill. So they go to Dr. Cutter's office. We find out she's a vet.
Veterinarian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, surprise.
Can I tell you, I love Dr. Cutter. She, of all the people there, she has no time to deal with Dwayne's BS.
No, she,
Yeah.
No.
Right.
no.
Yeah.
And she kind of called him on all his crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was totally there for it.
Yeah.
She's like, what? Because I made you a regular person?
Yeah,
Well, you're mad at me because you're normal now?
That's right.
Right.
And I was like, okay, Dr. Cutter.
like the great Santini. What, you gonna cry? You gonna cry?
Because as soon as he reveals himself, she's like, so?
So, big whoop. I gave you an opportunity to life.
The other
Yeah.
doctor's freaked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Dr. Cutter.
Nope. She cuts.
She didn't
Cuts
care.
like quick, cutting stuff up.
Well, he lets little bro out of the basket.
Throw out of the basket.
Yeah.
And can I say my favorite part of these deaths is it's happened a few times is when they just basically attach little bro's dummy or whatever to people's necks and just
Yeah.
tell them to go.
Right.
Now wiggle
Right.
really fast.
And they just wrestle around the whole room.
She took
Yeah.
forever to die, too.
She
Yeah.
did.
She was the
She
biggest
did.
fight of all of them.
She's slamming it. It's nothing but like a doll around
Yeah.
these actors'
Right.
necks, and these actors are just going insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just think that looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They should have had Jim Carrey do it.
Oh, could you imagine?
Oh, Jim Carrey did it.
He would have
Yes.
sold it, man.
Would have been freaking awesome.
I thought it was funny, too. She starts screaming, and the nurse assistant or the vet assistants are like,
yeah.
then they finally like, oh, maybe we should do something. But then I thought
Yeah.
to myself, they probably do hear a lot of weird noises in a vet.
Yeah.
clinic.
Oh, okay, weird noises.
But not human screaming.
Okay.
maybe.
But
I
it
got a
wasn't
theory.
human screaming. Well, I guess she was.
It was.
but-
It sounded like a cat going through a meat grinder
It did, yeah.
in there. She
It
was
just sounded like an animal.
I'm pretty sure that's what Earl Grey sounds like when they're giving him shots.
right, and then it cuts from that horrific screaming. You're right
Yeah.
to the receptionist, and like,
Yeah, like-
if a shrug with a question mark was like visible,
Yeah,
this is
that
what it
would
was. She
be-
was
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
looked at the other one,
And then
was like-
finally they're like, we should knock her out.
So I think she used to take her boys, her young men back there. And so they were like, oh, she's got another one back
got-
I
there.
think so.
And the guys are like,
Could be. Yeah.
Maybe she thought it was the guys.
yeah.
I gotta say, I like Dr. Cutter's death.
Yeah.
with the scalpels.
Yeah, so
that was awesome.
Yeah.
Apparently, she has a drawer where she keeps all of her sharp things.
Yep.
That gets pulled open. She's trying to reach for a
And
scalpel or something.
Somehow he pushes her face into it.
just smash it like you would smash somebody's face
But
into
they're
a
all laying
pie
flat, so I'm not quite
right?
sure how
Yeah.
exactly they got into
Yeah.
it.
because it doesn't
Unless he
make
did
sense
it.
or work
It's
at
awesome.
all.
So she stands
Yeah.
back up and she's got like 5 scalpels sticking out of her face.
But
Yep.
not until they actually open the door. So he smushes her face. You're right, against these flat, sharp objects, and then finally, I don't know how Dwayne and him even get out of the room. It makes no sense because like a 1-door room.
Right.
He gets out of the room somehow and evades the nurses, who then open it, and she has this very long death scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Standing straight up to camera
Yeah.
with all these scalpels sticking out of her face.
Yes.
And she screams for what feels like 5 minutes and then
Yeah.
Yep.
slowly falls out of the
Falls
frame.
Yep.
down. She was
Very
tough.
dramatic.
She was tough. She's a vet. She's used to tough things.
She was, yeah, she didn't put up with any crap.
She did.
Do you think
Right
these
up to-
nurses
to
tried to
the
help her with the scalpel sticking out of her face?
No.
You're
They
supposed
just
to
stand
actually
there.
leave them in
They just-
until you get to the hospital. I did learn that about stab wounds.
Well, they were in a hospital.
A dog
animal
has. Although I am learning a lot of the medicine I give my cat, I could take too.
I'm just saying. Dwayne escapes back to the hotel because he always escapes.
always
He
escapes.
always escapes.
I wrote that
Going
in my
on the
notes.
board.
He's really good at getting away.
For a
Oh, yeah,
doctor.
it's another doctor.
Another
Another
doctor.
doctor's dead. Yep.
Sharon shows up because Dr. Needleman got killed.
Yes.
And so
That
she
was her-
came to the safest hotel in New York, obviously.
Yes.
And,
I don't know why I wanted to be with you, even though you beat me up.
4
I
seconds
just
after
felt
she gets
safe
there,
with
she's
you.
like, I want to be with you, Dwayne. I don't know why. And I'm sitting there going, neither do we, honey.
No, we don't
Yeah.
know.
Like,
Yeah.
we
The
also
Hair, I'm
don't know.
telling you.
She goes, I've been thinking of you all day, and then slow kiss. Sorry, I got to bring it down here for a minute. Slow kiss. They start Frenching. It gets extremely close with the camera.
Oh man.
Right.
So awkward.
So close.
Right up there.
Tongues are shooting out of.
Felt like I was in there
Mouth.
with him. Third person in there. Get me
And your
some of
cats
that.
are like
Give me
pushing
that.
Like
it back
a-
from the TV.
That's right.
Quit licking it.
That's right.
And then Dwayne
Just spittle going everywhere. Just,
Dwayne gets to over the shirt second base.
yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
First time ever in his life. So, congratulations to Dwayne.
Dwayne. Way to go,
Congrats,
Dwayne.
buddy. And
She tells him, take me.
3 words. Okay. So then I can't say this. She says, "Take me, Dwayne." 3 words that have never been spoken before in the history.
Wait, did you just say that no one's ever said "Take me, Dwayne"?
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
Do you think The Rock has never had someone say that to him?
No, I'm guaranteed.
Just saying.
No one's ever said, "Take me, Dwayne."
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I know you're listening.
Yeah, that's right.
Email
Dwayne
the show and let us know if anyone's ever said those 3 words to you.
No, she calls him The Rock.
That was weird in this movie.
Something
though.
just struck. You're right. Okay, not thinking about Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but just something struck me as just a horribly
Yeah.
funny. So the idea of someone going, "Take me,
me,
Dwayne."
very, very odd.
I mean, it is. It's such a hard. Take me, Dwayne. I mean, just Dwayne is just such a hard.
I think
name
only
there.
a Dwayne's sister has said that to him.
And then little potato boy pops up out of his basket like burnt toast and starts screaming.
and
Nah,
that
I need
scream
some of
again. Yeah.
And Sharon immediately is like, "Let me up, let me up, let me up." And he just looks back at him like, "I can't believe you're messing this
And
up
he
for me."
holds her down.
Yeah.
I was scared about what's
Yeah.
going to happen.
I was very
So I
scared.
was-
He holds
Yeah,
her
I was
down,
too.
and he's just giving the death
She's
glare
like,
to his
"Dwayne,
little
let me
brother.
up, Dwayne, let me up.
I thought he was going to be like, "No, you're going to watch."
He pops out like a Pop Tart and
That's what I'm saying.
But
Yeah.
thankfully, Dwayne wraps her up in a blanket to spare her.
Oh
but
Like
my
a
God.
bird, like a
throws her out
bird.
the door.
Wraps her up like a bird. Like this'll make her go to sleep.
She's in a
Out the
blanket.
we
door.
throw the blanket over the cage. She'll go to sleep. It's nighttime.
He chucks her out into the hall. That's a small
Yeah.
hallway.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
Throws her up
smashes
against
into the other wall.
Wait, she
She
likes
didn't even
that,
know
though.
it was coming.
He
Then she
yeeted her
yells.
out of the room.
And then
Oh,
she
literally.
yells,
Big yeet.
Dwayne, Dwayne, yeah.
Even after all the "let me out of here, let me out of here, let me out of here," goosh against the wall.
Dwayne,
she's
are
like,
you there?
she's like, "Dwayne, open the
Yeah,
door."
seriously.
Okay, let me back in.
Let me back in. Yeah, why
can
don't you
work
go
this
back
out.
in with that weird thing?
I don't care that you have a
No.
potato.
Potato.
Let him watch. I don't care.
Potato doesn't matter. Tell me our love.
Lil bro is pissed, okay?
Blowing
Because
right out.
because like to him, he's like, "It's not fair that you get to touch him and I don't get to."
right.
And people get mad when I do. They don't get mad when you do.
Yeah.
And I there's got to be a frustration there. And so for
Sure.
for a fleeting second, I did feel some sympathy for the little murder nugget. I was just like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I get it.
He just wanted some, man.
He just wants to
he's
live a
just a
normal
man.
life.
That's all I'm saying,
He
right?
just succeeded in his murder. He wants a little celebration time.
He's a man, just like Dwayne is a man.
He's,
Yes.
well, sort of. We're assuming he's made out of flesh of some sort. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we get to what's essentially the final night of the film.
Yeah, there were some unexpected scenes here in the end of this movie.
Yes, there were.
A few things, yeah.
Little bro sneaks out.
His eyes start growing red.
Yeah.
I gotta say, they did a good job with the eyes on Belial.
Yeah.
That was fine.
I thought
Yeah.
that was pretty impressive.
We find out he's got some kind of powers that never really get explained. He literally
thing.
before he leaves to go sneak out, he like shoots a dream into Dwayne's head first.
Yep.
Yeah, dream in his dream.
And so he has one of these naked dreams, which we've all had.
And we got to see it, thank
we
to the director.
Thankfully. Thank the director.
Yeah.
I appreciate that you didn't let us use our imagination.
Yeah.
Thank you for the naked running down the street in New York. Full frontal from
Yes.
Dwayne. That was important, I
The
think.
city that never sleeps was sleeping at that point when they were filming that.
When they showed him, I was just like, that's a lot of bush.
I had the same thought.
My wife was like, she's like, well, would you want it to be less? I was like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like,
But it was still
this the
flopping
70s
around pretty
or-
good too, even with all that bush.
You know, Dwayne was like, "Can we shoot this at 4:30 in the morning?"
Yeah.
like that would be
and he's like, man, it's chilly out here.
right. Everybody else thinks it's cold too.
It's cold, right? It's cold.
Meanwhile,
What you guys are talking about, I was pretty impressed.
little bro sneaks off to Sharon's apartment all the way downtown. So I don't know. He hailed a cab or something.
Now, I think this is important. We don't actually know this.
Not yet.
It's
This
a
is-
dream.
okay,
He's
so this
dreaming. So Dwayne is dreaming. They're setting this up that Dwayne is dreaming.
And after he naked runs, he gets in the dream to Sharon's house.
Sharon's house, and she's in the bed, and he pulls the sheet down, and he starts touching her breast.
He what? Oh, he
All
boops
right.
her breast.
Oh,
he's
he
like,
does. He
button
does.
pushes the
Yeah,
nipple.
He does
Yeah.
button push the nipple. That was a little strange.
Yeah,
It's like
he-
launch the
But the guy's never seen.
he's like, is this like an easy
launches
button?
a nuke.
He's never seen one of those before in person. So
You have to arm them both at the same time. That's how the nukes work.
It's a safety mechanism. You got to do both hands, man. Dwayne, come on.
Oh my god, you're right.
So-
but we
so-
think it's a dream.
because
still.
he's sweating in bed and he's all.
Yeah.
You get that.
So he's dreaming about fondling
Yes.
Sharon. We think.
We think, and then we realize he's starting to have sex with her.
Yes.
And then I was like, "Oh, he's having a sex dream with her." And then we
But it's all
realized,
first
oh,
person, so you
crap.
just see
And
it.
then all of a sudden it dawns on us. We haven't
Yeah.
seen little bro in a while.
Right.
And they're
Right.
telepathically connected. And
Yep.
sure enough, little bro is the one that is doing this.
Right. He's in Sharon's apartment. He has taken her shirt off. Anyway, she wakes up, freaks out.
Yes.
Okay, which is a common theme.
Yes.
And then he starts to grab at her face. But again, how did he kill her?
Yeah, he chokes her somehow.
He didn't even
Didn't
really
know.
choke her though.
He doesn't
I
have
don't-
movable
yeah.
fingers.
Right,
Didn't
he
make
just
sense.
was kind of on her. I'm like, did she die from embarrassment for being in this scene?
Yeah, maybe.
Is that
I
what it
literally
was?
said, like, even before this, like, just when he first pulled the sheet down,
Yeah.
I was just like, that poor actress, like, had to just sit here and just be like, booped and stuff.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible. And
yeah.
so Dwayne is rushing to get to
Dwayne's
Sharon's
rushing to
apartment
get to Sharon's
because
Yeah.
he realizes what's happening. He
It's
kicks in the
too
door,
late.
and it's too late. She's dead.
Not only is she dead,
Well, my big takeaway from this scene, Ryan, really was just Sharon has a fantastic apartment. Okay, I'm just telling you, it was
interior
really
decorating
nice.
was amazing.
Wasn't it really
It
nice?
really was.
Compared
She
to all
was-
the other rooms
I
that
mean,
we
she
saw.
worked for Dr. Needleman.
That's
She
what
had
I'm
a pretty
saying.
good career
talking
going.
about burying the lead.
Yeah.
Burying
Okay.
the lead. What are you talking
You talking about burying the disturbing scene for the rest of my life?
Well, the audience needs to know. They need to know.
Don't
They have
ever
a right
see this
to know.
movie is what they need to know.
He busts into the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
And his brother is grinding with blood everywhere on her crotch after
It's
she's
a
already
little-
been killed.
It's a little
Right.
rough.
Okay, but it doesn't make any sense because he doesn't have a lower half, as you've said.
Right.
He's her. I'm gonna explain this in as few words as possible. Her legs are closed. She's just
Yep.
laying down on her back,
Just laying there.
and he's just sitting like you would sit in somebody's lap, basically.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and just rocking back and forth.
And there's blood.
But there's blood everywhere.
everywhere.
It doesn't make any sense. Like I
Yeah.
get what they're like. They're trying to show that he killed her and raped her. Let's just say
right.
what it is.
That's what they're
Right.
trying to show.
but logistically, physically, it just doesn't track.
None
How
of
did
it works.
How
It
did she
didn't-
die?
Yeah.
How does this work? This act that's taking place?
Where did the blood come from?
It's just gross. That's all it is. It's just gross.
Gross, yeah.
I think from
weird.
sticking on the wall, his anus just couldn't take it.
Well, he had to travel a lot of ground walking, so maybe he
there you
scraped
go.
along
He just
there.
dragged his butthole across
his
his.
butt
Butt
across
was
the
bleeding from
ground.
scraping across the ground.
Yeah.
There's a trail of blood through half
Blood,
of Queens.
yes. That's how Dwayne was able.
He was always able to track
Dwayne
him.
was able to track him there. He
Which
just
way did he
saw
go?
that. Yeah.
Why don't you follow the trail of blood?
Oh man. So he throws him in the basket, right? Takes him back to the hotel.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
wrestle all the way up. He's in the basket, but Dwayne is acting his butt off here. He's just wrestling with this imaginary thing in a basket all the way up the stairs, yelling at it.
He's mad.
I mean, cat's out of the bag.
Can't
at this
have
point.
anything. Why can't I have anything?
Right.
Why'd you do this?
Just because you
everybody.
can't doesn't mean I shouldn't.
Right.
Yeah, right.
And everyone like that he runs past is like seeing this.
Well, this is the third time the whole hotel ends up upstairs.
Right.
Yes.
Right. They all file because now he's in the room, shouting and yelling, and I'm gonna kill you, and don't you know. If I ever see you again, I'm going to kill you. He says, I ever see you again, just open the basket. Like
Right.
that was a weird line to say. But sure enough, in pour the whole or half the hotel comes in the room.
Yeah.
Just literally in time for Lumpy Space Princess to come out of the basket and pick up Dwayne off the ground by his testicles.
nuts.
You know,
Grabs
that's
his
offensive
crotch.
to Lumpy Space Princess. Okay.
Yeah, he grabs poor old
He
Dwayne
getting
right
real.
in the wee beasties and lifts him off the floor. He's like, if I don't got him, you're not going to have him anymore either.
And it's actually a great
he
shot.
grabs
He's
him by
like,
the
he's
ball,
literally
yeah.
just like arms and legs spread
Yep.
Yes.
off the
Way
ground,
up.
wailing.
Way up, wailing.
Now my first reaction
he's
would
just
not be
got
to
him.
spread my arms.
No.
I would have grabbed his arm and tried as hard as I could to get him to let
Just
go.
start
Just
beating
kick
his
him in
head
his-
Kick
against
him in
the
the head a
face.
few times.
Just lift him up by his arm. He's not that big.
Yeah.
Smash him around.
I know he's supposed to be strong. I watched this whole movie going, I think I could take this thing in about 4 seconds.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This thing's like a goose, man.
I think-
I'll take it right out.
I think my odds
Geese
are
pretty
better.
rough. I
against-
don't think I could win against a goose.
Oh man, you do judo chop
Got
their
them
neck,
long
man.
necks and their birds are nasty.
You just
too.
pick one up and you just whip it around by its neck. That's,
Yeah, right.
that's how you beat it.
That's
man.
the
how
neck.
you
It's
do
right
it.
there. You just grab it, man.
But they got the beak and it's all
well,
moving.
just right underneath their, right in the top. You gotta
I was,
get 'em.
okay.
Yeah, you get them so they can't move their head.
Kill geese.
I've had to fight geese before. You think I grew up in Wisconsin, man?
Oh, see, I just sat on
Illinois
top.
I grew up.
geese?
I should say I grew up in Illinois, near Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But we would travel into Wisconsin to fight geese
You
all the
killed
time.
our
They'd have
geese?
Wisconsin geese that they'd
We would come
Another
up there
reason not
on,
to like Illinoisans. You're coming up here killing our geese.
not killing. We would fight them.
they're
We'd come up
Canadian
there and
geese.
fight
Fighting
them.
geese.
They're Canada's geese. They just send them here.
Now
and
we
keep 'em.
owned geese growing up, and I would go
Really?
and hide on top of the propane tank because
that
they would
tracks.
try to get. at
They're
my
mean,
legs.
aren't they?
They're
Birds
very
are mean.
I was so scared.
See,
My
But,
brother got attacked by a duck when he was a kid. We had pet ducks, and the duck bit his lip.
bit him. How to get his
Trying
face
to
so close
kiss
to
the duck.
Yeah,
I
why
don't
is he
know. The duck was. I don't. That's a good question. But nonetheless, he was there, and the duck bit
He was
his
trying to
lip.
belie that duck and,
Don't-
and
don't-
You know, we decided
with your
when
mouth.
we decided when those ducks were old enough, we got rid of them. We put them on a lake, and then they got shot.
Jeez.
Someone ate the ducks.
So, I
Why'd you
think
put them out during hunting season?
I don't know. We didn't hunt. We probably didn't know.
I
we were
can
gonna
see
see
Charles and his family there. They release the
Go,
ducks,
little
like
ducks.
go little ducks, and then
It's almost like that. Yeah.
Boom,
yeah,
they
pretty
start
much.
flying. They take off. All of a sudden, there's this duck blind. There's
Pretty
all
much
these
like that. Yeah.
shell, these
Yeah.
pellets coming.
Yeah.
Ducks are flying everywhere.
Yeah, that's pretty much how that.
all right, well,
So
let's go home.
Yeah, my mom got us ducklings for Easter one year, and we raised them, and then they got killed. And we got rid of them because they were mean, nasty creatures.
to get back to your point, though, James.
Yes, sorry.
I
I
think
don't remember what my point was.
I would have a better chance against Belial than the little soldier, the small soldier.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm just saying.
Yes, for sure.
Well, I don't know. You guys saw him kill 3 people,
Those people were idiots.
4 people.
yeah.
Look, you got it. One of them thought bullets could kill shadows.
True.
The other one, I'm not certain, was even Doc Needles. I thought it was a crackhead stole his coat.
Yeah.
And then the other lady
Was a stone.
was a stone.
That's impressive. Hard to kill Stone.
You know,
Dad got cut in half
Saying.
by.
Seriously, Dad. So he's killed 5 people.
that was a saw.
Yeah.
That's what
and he
everyone
had
said
some
about
help.
Dahmer too.
I know.
I'm not scared of Dahmer. Yeah, wait till
He
he's
was
drilling
like
holes in
lifting
your
weights
head.
like crazy. I mean, he was
Stuff in
physically
your
fit.
brains.
All right, so they fight. They literally fall out the window after he gets grabbed by his nuts, and they end up hanging from the hotel sign.
Yes.
And little bro literally hangs Dwayne by his
him
neck
to
and
death.
chokes him to death.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
Best line in the movie.
what is it?
Hey, you okay up there? His body's hanging.
He's just
Has a
dead body. He's
hand,
like,
2 hand gloves holding this guy's neck. Hey, you okay up there?
Yeah, all that's 4 prostitutes are down there. And you're like, you don't see that every day.
Yeah. One of those prostitutes looked pretty good.
They fell. They fell. I had to think about squirrels I was going to say, and then I just chose not to. They fell. It was like people squirrels. They just fell off the sign, and they both fall and die on the street.
They die on the street.
You think?
Here, I know they retcon stuff for the sequel,
Yeah.
but I fully believe they intended them to be dead.
They did because he did.
Yeah.
He did
He checked
on the
his
neck,
throat.
But he
checked
used
his
his
pulse,
thumb,
and
so
gave him a
Right.
a
And then when they
nod,
decided
like,
they
no.
wanted to make a sequel, then
Yeah,
they
what
just
are the
went,
sequels?
they didn't die.
they retcon it and say that they survived.
Yeah, but what
Yeah.
do they do in the sequels? He was all about murder.
I don't know.
They go
I
to
have no
Mars for one.
I'm going to show you some stuff in the post show. You guys will be very
Do we get to
happy.
do the other two?
So
I'm
I
not
don't- I
doing the other
don't
two.
know. Probably. So,
I've had
and that's
enough
the end of the movie. So,
We made
Oh
it.
dear.
Please, okay, we need to put a PSA on this episode,
what's that?
and it needs to say, "Do not watch this movie."
Yeah.
So
What if somebody wants to
don't.
watch it?
do you
though?
know how I
No,
told
they
you, James, that as I was thinking of this movie was coming up, I kept coming across a few things with Basket.
Yeah, I
So
remember.
Basket Case by Green Day,
Yeah.
which is an excellent song.
Great song.
Is
I
it?
don't think they mentioned the word basket at all in it.
No.
No.
But there's a psalm
Is there?
that has the word basket in it. And it's surprisingly apropos.
Of this?
Yeah, listen to this. Psalm 81:6. I removed the burden from their shoulders. Their hands were set free from the basket.
Wow.
And so I thought all this meant was all Dwayne wanted was to be set free from the basket.
That's 100% true.
From the devil, but the devil gets you every time.
See? Because there was a seed there where he just says, I just want some
Just
time to
want-
myself.
Yeah.
Right?
To myself, I'm
Surprisingly
tired of this.
deep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stroke my beard.
Think Lawton,
stroke your beard when you say such things.
whatever the director's name was,
Yeah.
read that psalm and is like, I should make a movie about
movie
being
about it.
set
That's what
free
happened.
from the
Probably,
basket.
we'll just say, we're not going to research it. We'll just say that's what happened.
Yeah.
That is
right.
what happened.
I'm going to put that on IMDb and it'll be true.
There you go. It's on the internet. It's true.
All right, let's give this movie some awards. And we do this every movie we have, and we're going to give out good awards and bad awards, but we always start out with the Will Patton Award for intensity.
You want a war? I'll give you a war!
There he is.
I don't want them to
Mr.
gain
Intense Guy.
another yard.
You blitz all night! If they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna take every last one of you.
There
out.
he is.
You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans.
That's right, baby. The most intense actor that ever lived, Will Patton, and we give out an award in his name and his honor every single week. And so today will be no different. Guys, who is your nomination? Who is the actor that you thought, even though they're here in Basket Case, they treated this role with respect and they brought intensity to the part that they played? Charles, who's your nomination?
My nomination is I was divided on this.
Okay.
I first thought of I lost my notes.
Uh-oh. Do you want us to come back to you?
Yeah, come back to me. I don't know.
All right. So, Mueller, we're going to start with you this time.
All right.
Who do you have as your nominee for the trash can? Or not the trash can. Let me start over. All right, Mueller, we're going to start with you first on this. Who's your Will Patton Award nominee?
I went with the hotel owner, Robert Vogel.
Robert Vogel.
Yes.
Robert Vogel.
He was intense. Every time he's running up the stairs, he's pushing people out of the way. He's shouting orders. He was intense.
It's a nut house.
Not how.
Yeah, for sure.
I got my notes back.
All right, Charles, who you got?
I got for Will Patton Belial, the Blob himself.
It's not even a person.
He was,
Potato.
he was a person.
That 8-year-old girl worked
You're as
her
bad
butt
as
off.
his dad was, rejecting him and his life and existence. Anyways, Belial was intense. The screaming that you couldn't handle, the killing, the red eyes, the murdering, and it was also done by Kevin Van Hintenrich.
I identified most with the father in this movie. I think that's the character that I
Don't
was
listen
like,
to him, kids.
yes.
He would love you if you were a little blobby on the
I
side
would.
of
If
somebody.
If only the garbage guy would have came a little bit sooner.
Look, I also went with Robert Vogel, the hotel
Yes.
manager.
Nice.
I thought,
I liked him a lot.
As we often say, acting is truth, and I believed everything he said. I believed almost no one in this movie.
Yeah.
But
You
Robert
believe
Vogel,
Belial?
I believed.
I had Belial.
I
was
didn't
intense.
believe. I thought he was, like I said, an overcooked murder
That little
muffin.
8-year-old moving those hands, she did an awesome job.
No.
And Van Hintenrich, he did a great job making them screams.
His best acting was when he was a clay puppet. Okay.
That was impressive. That's hard work. That's a
He
lot
went
to
Gumby
do.
mode. That was what his best acting
Yeah, I
was.
have a runner-up option for the guy that had to sit there and move him an inch and then do another shot and then move him an inch.
Well, they moved
Do
him
another
about
shot.
6 inches at a time.
did
so
move
it's
pretty
really
quick.
glitchy.
All right, who's your nominee for Will Patton?
I am gonna go with the hotel manager. I think.
All right.
Yes.
Let's go. Well, you know what? If both of our patrons today that we have playing along with us, again, if you're part of our Patreon at certain tiers, you can participate on the show within awards. If they both went with Belial, you could still pull out a
Could.
tie
They
here.
should.
So we'll see.
Well, I like the hotel manager, but I wouldn't say it was the intensest person in the movie.
Yes.
Lauren did send me a Will Patton.
Oh, did she give you the
yeah,
awards?
because she was gonna be on the kids' table tonight, but we couldn't get a sitter.
So let's hear from Lauren. That'd be great.
She said Belial.
Yeah, Lauren!
Shut up.
I knew it. I knew I liked Lauren.
Lauren's
She's a lovely young lady.
Movie opinions
She likes
continue to
movies.
disappoint me
Just
She knows good acting
What?
when she sees it.
at every turn.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was
you kidding me?
amazing.
I wonder what Nicole would have said. So those I should have said them earlier. Nicole was originally supposed to be on this episode.
Yeah.
Nicole, for those of you who don't know, is not a fan of horror movies. In fact, she hates them.
Yes.
And so because of her availability this month, this was really the only episode that would have worked out. So it wasn't like I was trying to give her a horror movie, but this is kind of the way it worked. And I thought, well, look, this movie's so old, the effects look so cheesy. How scary could it possibly be? And then I got an inkling of what was in this movie,
Yeah.
and she decided that she'll catch me on the next one.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Mueller graciously filled in. We appreciate you, Mayor.
We always have them in.
But I really wonder what Nicole would have thought of this movie.
I do too, a little bit.
oh yeah.
So we'll never know because she didn't even watch
Now,
it.
does your wife like horror stuff?
Yeah, she really likes horror movies.
Okay.
Oh, perfect. So,
So yeah.
all right. So we'll give that a vote. So it's 3-2 then. Robert
Fine.
Vogel against Belial. And playing along with us, we got Mike Harding coming in. He says,
Mike.
nobody in this movie can touch Will Patton's intensity.
that's
Well,
true.
yeah.
That's
But I
true for any
appreciate
movie.
that he clarified that.
Yes.
We don't say that enough. But Dwayne's father seemed legit upset about having one son and one freak.
He
That's
was
true.
pretty
He did.
intense
He
in
was
this movie.
pissed.
Yeah.
So I don't disagree with that
I
vote at all.
can't-
That's a decent vote.
He was like, just like Dad used to be.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ranger Hicks also wrote in.
The Ranger.
That's right.
Hey.
And he went with
Belial.
Robert Vogel,
Yes, all
the
right.
hotel manager.
Nice.
Lauren, you're right. We're right. They're wrong.
He says, I don't know what the deal was with this actor, but it was like he knew what it was like to work in a seedy hotel, and I legitimately bought into it. I would totally rent a room from this guy for
He
$20.
probably owned the place.
Yeah, it was probably his place.
Somebody's uncle.
Yeah, right?
All right.
Hey, you know who'd be a great seedy hotel owner? My uncle. He's
Yeah,
weird.
He owns a
He has a seedy hotel.
He might even be able to film it there.
And so, for those of you who have listened to the last episode, we have a new namesake for our trash can. And so, we now give out the award for the worst actor in the movie, the one who had the acting range of a trash can full of dirt, by bestowing them with the Steven Seagal trash can filled with dirt.
Trash can, oh trash can, it's a trash can full of dirt, yeah.
Love never dies, and neither do they. Love is eternal, and that's a long time.
What a douche.
I couldn't think of a better actor to name this actor than Steven Seagal.
Love is eternal, and that's a long time.
Have you mentioned that his real name it's pronounced Seagull?
We did do that, yes.
Okay,
So
good.
sometimes
I
I'll
think we
probably
should announce it every time.
Seagal?
I'm so used to saying Seagal, but his name was actually like the bird, Steven Seagal, and he
Seagal.
thought it sounded cooler to say Seagal. So
What? That's another douche move. It's like, that'd be if I was like, my name's Madela, but
Here's
call
the
me
only thing-
Matalita.
or Attila.
Yeah.
Well, Dudikoff was generally a nice guy here.
that's what it seems
Yeah.
like. Yes.
So Seagal, I've heard maybe not so much. So
No,
like, is he
he's
going to
not.
come kill us?
you know what? I don't mind.
Blow up our building?
I don't
or
think he
stab
could get up
us,
the
or-
stairs. So
He'd have to
Roll
get out
up
of
in
Russia
his
first.
office chair, waiting outside the door for us.
he's gonna be like, I'm gonna come get you guys once you get out of here.
Right.
I mean, he came out of a giant cake, so anytime one sends his cake, be careful. He might be coming out of it.
And it'll feel like it's eternal.
If you guys ever come to Russia, you're dead meat. He's just gonna wheel up in his chair. Come over here. No.
I'm gonna try to kick you.
And I am 100% confident I can outrun Steven Seagal
See,
at
this is why-
350 pounds sitting in a freaking office chair.
I haven't seen him in a while. Is he like that
Oh,
now?
he's big boy.
Something happened to him?
he's-
Yeah.
This is what makes me so happy that we named it. We just get to make fun of him now every episode. This is
Yeah.
going to be
Okay. All right.
fantastic.
Yeah, because you kind of felt bad making fun of Dudikoff.
Once I
Generally a
realized
nice
he wasn't that bad of an actor. I mean, he was bad in that first one when we gave it to him. That still was terrible. But he's just gotten better in
Yeah.
the other ones, and he seems like a good dude. So I'm happy to have this named after Steven Seagal. So, Charles, who's your Steven Seagal trash can full of dirt?
So I was
nominee?
conflicted on this one.
Oh.
I had two options.
There's what do you mean? There's 12 options.
There's two that really
options. I
there were
have
two
two
that stood out to me. I picked one, but I went with the other one. The first one
I'll tell you
picked-
this first. You're not wrong. So
the first one I picked was Casey.
yeah, okay,
I didn't think Casey was great,
okay.
Okay.
but
Yeah.
but she got more roles because the actor liked her, the director liked her so much.
Yeah.
I don't know what that says about the quality of this film or whatever.
Or what their relationship was.
I'll say that. Well, I didn't think about that. Casey wasn't great. She got a little better maybe as the movie went on.
yeah,
So I'm going to go with Dr. Cutter
Doctor.
because she was terrible consistently all the way through. She didn't act well. She just was bad.
Yeah.
I just loved her candles in her champagne
Yes.
glasses.
Right.
Though. It was
Yeah.
She gave
80s
every
thing.
line
Oh.
badly, and
Again, you're not wrong.
I think Cutter's the one.
You can pick anybody.
I thought Casey had some endearing moments actually, but Cutter no.
Cutter was a
Wasn't the
cougar. She
best.
knew what she's doing.
Endearing's probably the wrong word.
You should get that as a touch bad of what's in the brown.
I might do that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
All right, who's your nomination for the trash can, Mueller?
Oh, I went with Kevin Van Hinkelstein or whatever his name is, Dwayne.
Dwayne, the main
Dwayne,
character.
really?
Sure.
There's no
Nice.
shortage of options in this movie. I'll say
well, that
outside
is-
of the hotel owner.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. And that's a valid 100%.
I
How
like
about,
Dwayne.
How about you,
Cutter.
Doc? Cutter.
Cutter.
Yeah, I
Two
knew-
for
Yeah.
Cutter.
Ryan convinced me actually sitting here I should go with Cutter.
Did I really?
Because I had Casey, but I thought Cutter, you're right. I had her down, but I went there.
Like a stone.
Yeah, Stone's good. She wasn't a good actress.
So we had 2 for Cutter, 1 for Dwayne. Mike Harding wrote in and said Dwayne. He said
Really?
there's a reason he hasn't
Mike.
done any other movies
That is
besides the
probably
ones for this
true.
guy. And so
He's a sculptor.
2
what
and
was
2.
yours?
Well, I realized I went off the board with O'Donovan because the dead eyes.
Not a bad
I was
option
just like,
either, yeah.
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not a bad choice.
Not
No.
only are you a terrible actor, I'm not sure that you're currently alive and you're not a reanimated corpse of this poor actor, Joe Clark.
Yeah.
Like it was bad. But now that I'm seeing I went way off the board, I'm going to probably have to be a tiebreaker here because this is what Hicks went with. Dorothy Strongen, who was Josephine, which is also not a wrong answer.
No.
Josephine's bad
Yeah?
too.
Too bad.
I seriously do not understand what was the necessity to have a crazy old lady staying in the hotel who told some random story to Dwayne and then just dip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She could have been replaced with a trash can to show that the hotel was clearly not well maintained. I was
a good
not a
point.
fan.
I wrote that. I
Now-
had that exact same thing. Told crazy story and dipped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I find myself having to be a tiebreaker here.
Well, Lauren voted.
Oh, did she? Oh, thank
she
you.
sent
Forget
me one.
Did
Yeah.
she? Wait, before you tell me who it is, did she break the tie?
Yeah.
Oh, well then perfect. Then I don't have to break the
Did
tie.
you just text her and coerce
No.
her into breaking the tie?
So yours is O'Donovan.
Was O'Donovan
Okay.
legitimately?
Lauren voted for Cutter. She actually is the one who convinced me about it.
Man.
Oh, I got
She
you.
reminded me about her stone face. And I was like, you're right. She did suck.
Then
That's not a bad.
right.
There was
She
one
said-
point in that movie where I thought she was reading off cue cards.
Yeah.
She was like looking past
She probably was.
somebody.
I think the cue card, there's one time where she moved her eyebrow, and I think her really literally in parentheses said, do not read this out loud. Move your eyebrow up.
Yeah. She took her acting lessons from Daniel Green.
yeah.
Well, then congratulations to Dr. Cutter.
Dr. Cutter.
What was the name of Dr. Cutter?
It was Diane
matter.
Brown.
All right, Diane Brown, congratulations. You are the proud recipient of the Steven Seagal Trash
For the
Can
only movie you ever did.
Full of Dirt
Yep.
Yeah.
award. Probably thrilled by that. The next thing we do is our top 3 performances. So this is just, again, doesn't have to mean that they had a quality performance. You could have enjoyed it because they were terrible. But what were your 3 favorite performances in the movie? Charles, who's your top 3?
My top 3. Top 3. First, number 3. Actually, I'll switch this. Number 3.
Yeah.
The detective, Kerry Ruff. He was so smooth.
You did good.
He was so
Yeah.
smooth.
Dude,
I like that detective.
He flicked that card
I
like he
was-
was passing
I was
out the
very
hooker cards in
disappointed.
Vegas. He just like,
I was very disappointed we didn't see him again. I would have enjoyed watching Mr. Kerry Ruff.
He was a natural actor.
He was.
it
He
was
like,
natural.
yeah.
for sure.
So number 2 then is going to be the hotel manager, Robert Vogel.
Let's go.
I liked
Let's
Robert
go.
Vogel. I really did. He was great. number one is Dwayne. I like.
All right.
I thought Dwayne sold the character pretty well. I thought he was fine. I enjoyed his.
It was the hair, wasn't
It was the hair.
Like the hair.
You know, it was just the hair.
And he was supposed to play the naive, sort of trapped by the weird, blobby, devilish brother, and I thought he did it all right.
All right.
He convinced me it was the first time he's ever kissed or fondled anyone.
That was clear.
Yeah,
It was
The first
clear.
time he
that
ever
was-
beeped a boop on a
Yeah.
boob.
Yeah. So
right.
and his drunk scene I thought was entertaining. So
true.
I thought Dwayne was. I enjoyed Dwayne.
He could teeth kiss with the best of them. All right, who's your
Looked
top?
like a hockey player when he was done, just missing teeth.
All right, Mayor, we need a proclamation. What's your
All
top
right,
three?
my proclamation is number 3 is the basket.
Yeah.
The basket.
There you go.
Let's go.
The basket filled with blob.
He kept his
Foil
basket
wrapped
very
baked
clean.
potato in it.
There wasn't ever any dirt in the basket.
No.
No.
You're right.
He wiped his
Yeah.
anus after he
guess
got done
so.
suctioning the wall.
Yeah.
That's how he wiped it.
All right, could we get what's your number 2?
Number 2 was Sharon, Terry Susan Smith.
All right.
Yeah, I thought she was entertaining. Didn't particularly sell anything well, but I was entertained nonetheless. And number 1 was Beverly Bonner as Casey.
Casey, number 1.
Yeah.
Look at
Wow.
that.
There you go.
Wow.
You guys were a little bit far apart on that one, but I also almost put her in my top 3.
So it means you didn't put her in your top.
But she was. I
She
went
was
back
up
and
there.
forth.
Okay,
she was up
okay.
there for me. I'm gonna give her an honorable mention.
All right.
No, so I went with Diane Brown as Dr. Cutter at number 3. I know you guys all
Cutter.
trash
Well,
canned
you
her.
liked her.
But I like the fact that she just was like no nonsense.
true.
And out of
Yeah.
every other doctor, she was like, I don't want to hear your whiny
You are right.
crap.
That she was the most intimidating doctor, evil.
She's
villain.
like-
I don't even know if you call her villain.
No, I kind of was on her side.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit.
I was just like, she's
She
like, what
just-
are you whining about?
Yeah, she just cut the crap.
She literally did. So make me a bad person. I'm sorry. And number 2, I went with Terry Susan Smith as Sharon. Again, not a great actress, but on the curve, good Lord, not terrible.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then number 1, I went with Robert Vogel. It was the best
Yeah.
performance in the whole movie for me.
there you go.
Yeah. All right. Give me that top
Who's Robert
3.
Vogel?
The hotel.
hotel
manager.
manager.
Yeah.
So my top 3, I had number 3 would be Tom Robinson.
Okay. Who's that? No
That's
idea.
Thief in the Theater. We didn't even talk about it.
We
I
just
almost gave
blew
him-
past that.
that.
I almost
Yeah.
gave him the intensity work because he ran really fast.
Yeah.
Where he kicked
And then
the
he died
lock
pretty-
off and
Like, we don't even have
Oh yeah,
face
they
eaten.
killed that guy too. So he's like 6 murdered.
The whole reason
He
I
died too,
skipped
yeah.
that scene is because it was utterly meaningless to
was.
the
It
entire
was.
movie.
Yeah, it was.
I just picked these people because nobody in this movie was any good.
Perfect.
Number 2 was the hotel manager.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And number 1 was Noel Hall, the drug dealer.
It's just like, dude, I believed him
Yeah.
too.
I
Okay.
did believe
Yeah.
he had a lot of stuff to sell me.
I don't think he was
misread it.
acting. I don't think he was acting. I think it's all
That's
natural.
what's up.
Yeah, he was. That's quite a list.
Mike Harding came in with the hotel manager, Robert Vogel, at number 3.
Okay.
He said best performance in the movie by far. Number 2, The Basket, carried this movie.
Nice.
It's our
I
first
love it,
pun
Mike.
in this movie.
It might be. And then number 1, you know who he gave his number 1 to?
Who?
Belial.
Dr. Needleman.
Needleman.
You know, the heroin
We
addict?
can't do this if he keeps squirming. Stab him again. Stab him
Oh,
again.
he's just shooting him up.
Shooting him up.
This is my only job.
Needleman was entertaining enough.
What, straight into his head? Is that what I do?
Yeah.
Right there.
There's no skull. It's okay.
Okay.
Needleman, I can see that. Needleman was all right.
All right, so Ranger Hicks went with number 3, Dr. Needleman. Again, get
Dr.
another
Needleman.
top 3 vote.
Really?
He goes, look,
I
I'm pretty
guess.
certain Dr. Needleman is probably on some watch list somewhere
This is true.
and probably can't be within 200 yards of a school playground, but his overall creepy sex pest vibes
I
made
told
it
you
better.
he blinked. He did the eyebrow
Yeah.
thing. So
It's like, is
maybe
that
maybe,
hair,
yeah.
huh?
I was the only one to pick that up.
So he thought that made it better when he was killed by Belial. He's like, I watched that scene and I was like, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's
there you go.
That's what he deserves.
All right.
Number 2 went with Beverly Bonner as Casey.
Yeah. Nice.
He goes, being a hotel clerk myself, I will always have a soft spot for the hooker with a heart of gold. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Casey was played genuine. She was a sweet lady, and I, for one, am glad she didn't get killed. Easily the oasis in this desert of barren acting to me.
All right.
Now, this is something I didn't know about Ranger Hicks, that he worked for this man a long time. Number one, he goes with Robert Vogel as the hotel manager, and I like his explanation. He says, "I'm not certain I have explained enough, but I have been an overnight hotel manager for decades.
Really?
Wow.
Wow.
And if there is one thing you immediately do when you man the desk, it is to show how little you are willing to put up with people's idiocy when it comes to staying there." This guy may very well be the most realistic depiction of a hotel worker that has ever existed in cinema history.
That is fair.
That's
Yes.
great.
And I, for one, will applaud my brethren. May you forever have quiet shifts.
Nice.
You won't, but I hope you do.
That's nice.
Nice.
Especially, I
Yeah,
would think yeah, that's good. I would think that's especially true in lower end hotels. Probably true in all hotels.
For sure.
Because
Yeah.
overnight stuff gets crazy.
You get in those, 4 or 5 star hotels. You just got the other end of the snootiness and entitlement, I'm sure. So,
but yeah.
I love that response.
That was
yeah.
good.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
So
And then Lauren
Hit me
sent
with
me her
Lauren's,
3
yeah.
as well. She said the hotel manager,
Yep.
All right.
Sharon,
okay.
All right.
All right.
and Dwayne.
And
Dwayne.
Dwayne with another
Dwayne.
top spot. She liked Dwayne.
I guess.
I think it's
She
means
liked
you
the
gotta grow your hair out a little bit here, buddy.
Trying
Get
to
the
tell
hair.
me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
She's trying to tell you something. Yeah.
Yeah.
If while you were watching, let me ask this, just to try and maybe drill down and see if it is in fact the hair, and
Yeah.
you do need to grow a huge perm, because I would love that if you did. While those scenes were happening, was she like, "Oh, I totally get why she's into this guy"?
She was like, "Can you go grab me a snack quick?" Rewind. No.
In fact, go to Quick Trip and grab me a snack.
No, in the other town. Go to
Go to Lake Geneva.
All right, so would Arnold make this movie better? We always talk about Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 80s, especially in the 90s, being asked to basically be in every movie after there was a trivia item and like, I don't know how many episodes in a row. They wanted Arnold for this, couldn't get him.
So
Would he be better in this movie?
Terminator was
Or
what?
would he make this movie better, I should say?
Terminator was what, 80?
4.
84.
The first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
This
So-
is Conan days.
Yeah.
Okay, so 85 Arnold, would he make this better?
Yeah.
I don't think there is any Arnold, even I haven't seen it, but I've seen clips of it. I think even young Hercules in New York Arnold would make this movie better.
Oh, you talking about Hercules? Like before you could even understand. what he
Yeah,
was saying.
right. That would make this movie better.
Any Arnold, any era Arnold makes this better.
He should have been Belial.
That's what I was just going to say.
Could have been
Can you
Belial.
imagine an
little bro.
Arnold head as Belial?
Can you imagine the basket they'd have to carry him in? It's a dump truck.
He just,
What's with
he
the
just
dump
has
truck?
What's in the dumpster?
two huge arms, but all he can do is mow and go.
He's yelling in the bedroom, shaking the bed.
He's just got to drive him around
would
in
be
a
awesome.
dumpster that's on the back of the trunk.
And his neck
in the
is so
dumpster.
huge, you wouldn't have to do anything.
Yeah, yeah.
What's in your oil canister? Your giant.
It's in the back of the semi.
And then he gets on everybody and their hands are just slipping off because he's so oiled up.
Oiled up.
Because he doesn't talk, so all you
Yeah.
get is the Arnold moan the entire movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just get him screaming in
incredible.
Austrian the whole movie.
You know what's
That would have
great?
been pretty good.
Funny about this is both Mike Harding and Ranger Hicks went the same direction with their Arnold thoughts here, and without knowing that each other were doing this. So Mike Harding said Arnold can make this movie better if, with one small cameo, all he has to do is bust in when Belial's there and show up and yell, "It's not a tumor!"
Nice. It's not a tumor.
It's your brother.
That's all it's your brother. No, but then he continued to go, but why stop there? And why not a full Twins horror
There
reboot?
you go.
Starring Arnold, and then Danny DeVito is Belial.
DeVito is Belial.
That's perfect.
Danny DeVito would make an awesome Belial.
Wouldn't it be
Yeah, it
great?
would.
Yes.
Yes, and so Hicks went the same way. He goes, "Isn't this basically a horror version of Twins?" So yeah, get Arnold carrying around a large wicker basket, have him open it, and there's Danny DeVito. Just he's still got glasses on too when he
Yeah.
pokes his head out of the thing.
Yeah.
His crazy hair from Always Sunny and his glasses.
Yeah.
It's the cul-de-sac hairdo all over.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, this movie would be instantly better. I would have actually paid money to watch it instead of watching it off of Tubi with ad breaks.
There you go.
Oh.
All right, so ultimately, guys, we got to land on something here. We decide if it's a good movie, full stop. everybody's wrong if it's a bad movie with no redeeming qualities, or if it's an enjoyable bad movie, so bad it's good, aka a bad movie that rules. Where do you ultimately land on this, Charles?
Okay, so I have 3 ways to view this movie.
Exactly.
3 ways. The first is this. This is a film about the value of human life and how when we marginalize and we don't consider people as human, it drives them to violence. That's the first
Wow.
way you could look at this film.
Okay.
Okay? Because he's a blob. He's still
It
human.
is legitimately deep. I don't even have anything to make fun of about that.
The second one is this.
Stroking my
The
beard.
second one is this. If we go with Belial, the name and the connection with Wicked or
Yeah.
Devil, right?
Yeah.
The devil is always going to get you and ruin your life. Don't play along with his tricks. The brother, when he's in the bathroom and
Yeah.
he's all wet because he's toilet water all over him,
Yeah.
he should have said, brother, we need to stop this. We need to go get help.
You're right.
We need to not murder people. Well, you need to not murder them, and I need to stop taking you to murder them.
You're right.
And so he played along with them, but he'll convince you somehow. Belial convinced Dwayne this is the best thing to do, but ultimately it's going to destroy your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to get
Yep.
grabbed by the balls,
Literally.
thrown out the
He
window,
did
and
get
choked
grabbed
to
by
death.
when life
Slammed on
grabs
the
you by
street
the
of life.
balls.
The third way to view this movie is it's a total piece of exploitive crap that I wish I'd never seen in my life. It has absolutely no redeeming value whatsoever.
Appreciate it.
Yes, it wasn't scary. It wasn't fun. It wasn't funny. There was very little about this movie that I enjoyed.
So just straight up bad?
I actually think it's a good movie.
How'd you do that to me after I just played the anthem?
Played the anthem.
That was great, Charles.
I'm so back and forth on this movie because I'm like, yes, it's got low budget quality issues, right? It totally does.
Right.
What is happening right now?
But those first 2 points I made are actually kind of legit.
No, they are.
really good
I
points.
think
So I'm like totally conflicted because
very
I
torn.
think I never want to see this again.
Well, just full send it. Yeah.
And
go
I
for
will
it.
never encourage anyone to ever watch this movie.
Sure.
Yeah.
We had to.
We had to.
Yeah.
But I think from a movie perspective, I don't think it was made terribly
For the money.
for the money. You guys did point out stuff I didn't see, but I'm not a movie maker, like
Yeah.
some of the plot device stuff.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought, okay, it works. It had a plot,
It did. At least it's, yes.
unlike some other movies we've watched, right?
Yep. Lucky.
It had. So I don't know. I think it's a good movie that's bad.
Come on.
I don't know where to put it. I really don't.
I think you just say it's a good. If you feel it's a good movie, just
Okay,
say it.
I think from a movie making perspective, I can see why people would look at this and say there's something about this film that has quality to it that is somewhat art-like.
That
Unexpected
transcends
depth.
The quality.
And I
issues of
don't.
the
I
film.
almost put that. I don't know much about horror movies, but
Right.
the thing I sort of have read about or think about is they are sort of supposed to generally be, like morality tales, right?
Yeah.
I
A lot
think
of times
when done
there
well,
are.
yeah.
Yeah.
when-
some
a
of
lot
them
of times there
are,
are.
like the more artsy ones are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like in Friday the 13th, don't have unprotected premarital
Yeah,
sex or you're
right.
going to die.
Right.
Right.
So if
Scream
that's
lays it all
true, if that's true, this genre, that's part of how this genre can play out.
Yeah.
I can
Right.
see that people who like this genre for that side of things could see some redeeming quality.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
Full beard stroke.
I did not. I'm literally here stroking my beard. I will agree with you to a point. And I will say this: it has unexpected depth.
Yes.
When I saw the trailer, when I saw the concept, and I read, I mean, the description blows the surprises. His conjoined twin, like
Yes.
literally
Yeah.
right away,
Right.
like you kind of know.
Yeah.
So you can't really go in cold. But so given all the premise, the effects, the budget, it did have unexpected depth for all of that quality of what they were working
Right.
with.
This was. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say this was nega rubber. That's what this was.
Yeah. So all credit to the filmmakers who, with 35 grand, was able to make something that most amateur filmmakers, I know he had done a few things, but essentially it was his first big project, could never even hope to achieve from a script level, this level of depth. And there was some genuine pathos to the story and all of that. That being said, I'd say this is a straight up bad movie.
It's fair. Like I said, that was the option number 3.
But I say that just as a matter of personal taste,
Right.
fully acknowledging and giving credit for what they were able to accomplish. And I could totally understand why someone would see this unexpected depth and say, this is much better than I thought it was going to
Yes.
be. And so respect to those people, those opinions. But for me personally, it's just a bad movie.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Where you at?
Oh boy. So first, I'm a bit mad that this thing was rated better than Jingle All the Way, The Postman, Winners Take All,
Yeah.
Air America,
Oh, yeah.
Iron Eagle.
How
It's
dare.
just behind Waterworld,
oh, man.
Wow.
and it's the same as Small Soldiers. So I'm mad about that.
I don't blame you.
That's fair.
On the scale, this thing is the dog got into the ghost pepper patch, ate the ghost peppers, ate the bowl of M&Ms on the table, shit all over the white carpet, didn't stop there, got in bed with you that night, shit all over the bed. You had to rip the carpet and subfloor out to get the stench out of the house, throw the bed away. It's a bad movie, man. This thing is terrible.
my
A
God.
flaming turd.
Flaming ghost pepper turds through the house.
Burn your hands as you clean them up.
Right. Your hands are burning because it's soaking through the rag you're using to try and wipe up the runny dog shit.
All
That's
right.
got to be your worst review ever. I don't know where you go any farther
That's
than
nuclear.
that.
I'll think of something.
That's nuclear.
That was both nipple pushes down.
Total. Both nipple push down nuclear launch codes.
All right.
Bad.
All right. Well, we have, before we get to Lauren and the doc and his patrons, just between the three of us, we have already run the gamut.
We have.
Almost
Yeah.
the entire spectrum on this.
And that's not to say, like you, James, I totally understand. A lot
Yeah.
of valid points brought up about
Yeah.
kind of some of the kind of story behind the story, if you will, and the
Yeah.
morality tale, if you will. But
Sure.
end of the day, this is just a terrible movie.
Well, yeah, I would
awful.
never watch this again.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. What's up, doctor?
Hi.
And being the only doctor that survived basket case.
That's
True.
right.
So far.
Probably the only doctor that ever watched it.
Can you imagine being a doctor and watching this and be like, that's not how any of this works? All right, sorry, go ahead.
Unbrother you.
You know, you just send them to the incinerator. You don't put them out behind the house for trash pickup.
Right, that's your first mistake right there.
Rookie move. Oh man, I have a really hard time with this one.
Isn't it weird? We usually come into this segment and it's just like
It's
boom,
so
boom,
easy
boom, boom.
normally.
Easy.
I was going to come in, and I was gonna say that it was a bad movie
Yeah.
that rules.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow.
And now I'm having a really hard time because Charles' first 2 points were really good points. And it's pushing me so close to calling this a good movie.
Well, you do what you feel led to do, man.
You
You
wouldn't
know.
be alone. 77% of the critics
I
like
know.
this movie. It's so
I feel like I'm
weird.
such a dickhead if I vote it as a good movie, though.
You don't have to have a beard to think it's good. I
Oh,
don't
that's right.
anymore, right?
That's right.
It's yeah, man. I think I have to say I don't want anyone to ever watch it, but I've got to say this is a good movie. And I'm sorry.
And I'm sorry.
And I'm sorry.
I'm like embarrassed.
It's true.
It feels
Usually-
like I'm saying it's a bad movie that rules by saying I'm embarrassed about it, but like I'm embarrassed that it's objectively good in a certain way.
It's just funny. We usually say I'm sorry when we say something's bad.
I know.
Right.
It's because of the rape, the necrophilia thing. Like
Oh, it's just that.
Yeah,
that's
that was it.
the one thing that sets it.
that takes it to a level to me
If
where
you
I'm
could
like,
cut
I'm
that
uncomfortable.
5 seconds out, just that part, he could have even killed her, or whatever. But like, if you
Just
could
that
cut
one
that shot out,
Yeah.
this would be such a better movie.
Yeah.
And it's like
You can insinuate that happened. You don't have to show
Right.
it. Right.
it just that was like so far.
Yeah.
you know,
I got
that's
you.
That's where I have a hard time with it. But yeah, I think I have to say it's a good movie.
All right.
Lauren's
That's-
gonna hate me because she thinks it's a bad movie.
Did she
Full
say
stop.
full stop bad movie?
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right,
So it's
Lauren.
You
three
can tell her I
bads.
corrupted you.
Yeah,
Interesting. There's no bad movies that rule yet. It's 3 bads and Two Goods.
Yeah.
but never watch it.
But never,
never watch it.
everybody
Too
agrees.
Good, but never watch
so
it.
It's
It should
kind of
never
like
be
that
watched.
movie Arlington Road. Do you remember that? I don't.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, that's a great movie, and I'll never watch that
Never,
again
ever.
because the ending was so horrible.
So here's where where Mike and Ranger Hicks came on this. So Mike Harding said, this is a very dark and gritty movie. This is with some very odd moments. Sorry. The receptionist making typewriter noises. That was weird.
Yeah, that's right. She thought he was a
Mouse, like,
yeah.
seems like something out of a Mel Brooks movie. There's odd conversations between characters that don't go anywhere and never pay off. Bad stop motion. Extremely disturbing scenes. Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
A monster that looks like a cross between Bib Fortuna
Thank you.
and Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ridiculous, over-the-top death scenes. All these things make for a movie that is so bad that it leans just slightly towards ruling.
Oh. Okay.
So are we giving that as a bad movie that rules? I,
think-
feel
I
like
think
we
it
have to give it as a
I
bad
think
movie
it
that
is. I
rules.
think he
Okay.
pushed
Yeah.
it just over the line.
All right. And then Mr. Hicks says, look
Look here. Look here, son.
listen up. This is a bad movie that rules.
All right.
All right.
It's ridiculous as hell, but it's not necessarily boring. I wouldn't suggest watching it alone. It's horrible that way.
Yeah.
We all can agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you didn't get to
Definitely.
watch it alone.
I
You
didn't
had
get
your
to watch.
wife
I'm
there.
so glad I didn't watch it. I would have felt like a perv, dude.
I was watching with my cats. I don't know if that helps or not.
If my wife had walked into the room at the wrong time,
Right.
what are you
I'm
watching?
so glad I didn't watch this
Yes.
in my house.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if watching in my office is any better. But no one was around except my cats. But
But get a couple friends together, crack open a couple cold ones, maybe put some pizza rolls in the air fryer.
I
Let's
don't
go.
know.
Let's
There you
go.
go.
You won't be disappointed. I don't know if I go there. Like,
I
don't know.
I don't know if this is a pizza roll
No.
movie.
No.
Yeah, that would remind me too
do
much
that.
of Bib Fortuna there.
I couldn't do that.
It'll be a good night, but please don't watch it alone. You'll regret it. I actually had to take a day and a half lap to recover from watching 33 minutes of it. So I remember that Hicks was on our Discord because he's part of the Patreon, and
Yeah.
I remember he said that he had. I started watching Basket Case. I watched a half an hour of it, and I needed a day and a half break.
Yeah.
Then he watched the rest of it later.
Oh man, I feel bad because that day and a half, he probably was thinking like, it can't get worse than this.
Yeah. Then he
Yeah,
got to
right.
the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Get to the end, and it's just like, I need 3 weeks off now.
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
All
This
right.
goes in my disturbing category movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely.
For sure.
Definitely.
I got you. All right, guys. So next week, thank you, first of all, for joining us for Basket Case. And if you watch this movie, I'm sorry. If you just listen to us
Real
talk about
sorry.
it, that's much better than actually watching the movie.
We're less sorry about that.
Yeah.
Next week, we got another Patreon pick.
All right.
Next week.
Oh, wow.
Patreon picks.
This is the one that is voted on by everybody, not
Everybody.
just the one person like this time. And I'm interested to see next year what Bill's going to pick as his one movie.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
I don't know, it can't be Basket Case 2. That's going to make that declaration.
Yeah. Or 3.
But the Patreons picked a banger for next
Yeah.
week. We are doing. Can you believe it, guys?
I can't wait to see that.
I'm
one. That's going to be a
excited.
great
I'm so
episode.
excited. I might come in for the kids table. That
Honestly, I can't even believe it qualified. Do you know what I'm saying? So when I looked it up and I saw,
They are redeeming themselves for rubber. That is for sure.
seriously, for sure.
Oh, that's
So-
right. The Vans picked Rubber.
Yeah.
I did.
What
But
they were
ever
thinking.
since then, they've been doing better.
They've been
But you know
doing
what? I
better.
actually kind of liked Rubber.
I know. So,
Get out.
and you kind of like this.
Yeah, you
so
kinda
did.
like
I
Basket Case, too.
I'm weird, I guess.
that's all
Yeah.
good, man.
This was the opposite of Rubber, though.
Yeah,
Basket Case.
That's true.
That's true.
They're polar opposite.
I mean, people die.
That's true.
okay.
That's the same.
A
But
tire shaped. This guy was kind of tire shaped also.
yeah, so, one's a tire, one's a lumpy potato. I mean,
Oh my gosh. So
He had psionic powers as well.
join us next week for that one. It's going to be a fantastic episode. In the meantime, on behalf of Charles Hewitt and Ryan Mueller and Dr. Ryan Madela, I'm James Hauser. Just want to say thank you guys for
Thanks
listening.
for listening.
yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Don't ever see Basket Case.
He's in a basket. He's a murder potato.
It's coming for ya.
I don't know. I just lost it.
If he tries to grab you, just say yes.
That's
Or he'll scoot across New York on his anus.
Suction. Anus.
Laundry.
Basket.
Picnic.
What's in the
Basket.
What's in the basket?
What's in the basket?
What is in the basket?
Brad Pitt,
Baskets are a really inefficient way to carry something.
Yeah, they just open up and it's Brad Pitt.
What's in the box?